me check.
Starting the streaming.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry, everybody. Watching too many videos. Oh, Arden is here. Hi, Arden. All in all, it's been a surprisingly quiet week. Late. Technical difficulties. No, I'm just late. Sorry, everybody. Joan's asleep. I'll leave Joan alone for now. We'll get Joan later. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Welcome to the live stream where we do it live. There's Arden. Hello. Boy, what happened to me? Well, if you tuned into videos yesterday, you found out I went to go see the grave of Joe Mulliner, the famous highway bandit. And I told you all about that. That day I had technical difficulties. Oh boy, did I have technical difficulties. It was a shame. I lost all the footage. I spent an hour walking into the woods to have no video. Arden, I was asleep until about 15 minutes ago, so I sympathize with Joan. Yes. But it was a cool walk in the pines. Indy Phantom, a working man, has beaten Snow White. Oh no! Someone arrest that working man! Oh, the movies. Yes, of course. Yes, I know. Thanks for ruining what little information I had in this stream, Indy Phantom, but that's okay. Yes, check out my video about yesterday's travel into the pines where we found an abandoned wallet and a purse, and we still don't have any information on the person who that was. So, if you live in the Toms River area, drop me a comment if you happen to know a person who lost their wallet. Ironically, I was in Toms River today. I probably should have asked around, but I'm not a detective. LeMay, have you heard of an Australian author named Tori Woods was arrested for obscenity charges, and she was suspected of CP? Oh, no, I did not. That sounds bad, though. Arrested on obscenity charges. Now, she was suspected of CP. Was that related to the obscenity charges, or was this like some sort of pretense to like search all her stuff kind of thing? Maybe that's what cops do. Carter Chain, in 2 weeks I will be visiting New Jersey for the first time. Now I get to see why people hate it. Hey. Well, not if you're in South Jersey. You'll wonder why. Why do people hate this wonderful place in South Jersey? If you're going to North Jersey, yes, you will understand. Ardent at Carter Chain, north or south? Mm-hmm. LeMay, yes. That doesn't sound good. You know, who got arrested? He didn't get arrested. I think he got investigated for something similar, I'll say. Was Pete Townsend of The Who. A lot of people forget that. That kind of like quietly went away. He said he was researching a new musical or something. Carter Chain at Arden. I'll be in North Jersey. Ooh. That's Tony Soprano country. Woke up this morning, got yourself a gun. Well, I'll say this. The Italian food's great. Just don't breathe the air or smell anything. You should be fine. And also excellent pizza. Just don't, if you see an Italian person like myself, be nice, or they may stab you. No, I'm just kidding. North Jersey, here, North Jersey. All right, you got Jersey City, sucks. You got the mountains. You can go to the mountains. They don't suck. There is some North Jersey area. You could visit the stuff in Book 15. There's the Haunted Strip Club in South Plainfield. Well, it used to be a strip club. Now it's a seafood restaurant. It's haunted by Mad Dog, the bouncer, his ghost. You could go to see the grave site of, what's her name? Oh, not Abigail Sharp. The other one, Eloise, I think her name is, or Elsie. The woman who's buried along the Raritan River, and her gravesite still maintained. It's in an AMC parking lot in Raritan, if you're near Raritan. And then there's the road with 13 bumps. That's supposed to be 13 witches. There's Clifton Road. Avoid that. Bad things happen there. There's Shades of Death Road. Avoid that. You can go to Alpine, New Jersey. See the Devil's Tower. Bad things happen there, so don't stay. The Devil's Tree, of course. Also bad things happen. And the Gates of Hell. The Gates of Hell, which are also in Book 15. All bad. So that might be why people hate North Jersey. Ardent LeMay at LeMay. Tory Woods sounds familiar. Romance? Indie Phantom. Get some New Jersey pizza. Heard it's good. It is good. New Jersey pizza is the best. Dave Portnoy confirms it. LeMay at Ardent. It is listed underneath Dark Romance. The book is called Daddy's Little Toy. Uh-oh. Carter Chain. I'll be in East Rutherford for a wedding. East Rutherford. Well, it's very crowded. East Rutherford. That's about all I know about East Rutherford. I think I drove through it once. It's not, I don't think it's far from Fort Lee. I used to go to Fort Lee. I mean, again, it's all about the restaurants. Everything. I mean, you can see cliffs. You can go on a ferry to New York if you want to really take your life into your own hands. What else? That's about it. I mean, there's historical stuff up there if you can find it. Just bring a friend so you can outrun them and leave your friend behind for the chuds. Ardent LeMay, yeah, sounds right. JEC is here. Hi, hi, hi. Indie Phantom, strip clubs have plenty of seafood. Ha! Ha! No, this is a haunted strip club, damn it. Well, it was haunted. Well, I mean, it is haunted, but it's now not a strip club. Ardent, low. Carter Chain, haunted strip club, count me in. Do they take cash? Well, there's no more strippers there. It's a seafood place for the family. But you may see the bouncer Mad Dog, his ghost. Ardent at Indie Phantom. Rule 672. Never eat strip club seafood. He's right. He's right, of course. I wouldn't even eat Hooters food. I had the worst Hooters food ever. All 3 times I went there, it was horrendous. One time I ordered, the first time I went there, as I'm prone to do, I ordered a ton of food. And they brought out the wings, and they were still frozen. Still frozen. Not undercooked. They were still frozen. And I was very cross with my very hot waitress. Ardent. Didn't the WWEF used to do a lot of shows in East Rutherford? I swear I recall Gorilla Monsoon and Mean Gene talking about it. I think there might be a studio there. There might be a soundstage up there. Or some kind of studio. That might be near Secaucus, where Howard Stern's studio was there when he was doing the Channel 9 show. Oh, you could go to the TikTok Diner. That's up that way. That's on Route 3. Kind of a semi-famous diner. It's good food. I know it's all my suggestions are food related, but that's the only thing I ever do when I'm up there. Definitely go to a diner though. North Jersey diners are pretty good. JC, yeah, I went to Hooters once and the wings sucked. I was shocked how bad they were. They're really bad. I mean, they're awful, in my view. Just awful. And I tried to avoid the place for food after that. But one time I got dragged there by my friend whose wife worked there. And she was a smoke show. And then another time I was at a convention and it was the only place open and I needed food. And I ordered a hamburger. And it was the worst hamburger I ever had. Indie Phantom. Yeah, I'll pass on the strip club food. Ardent. Similarly, do not go to Waffle House for the strippers. No, you go to the Waffle House to either have a BLT or get punched in the face, or both, depending on how drunk you are. I'm not a Waffle House guy because I'm not from the South. For my breakfast place, it used to be Denny's when Denny's were kind of a thing. And maybe McDonald's once in a while. These days, I don't really eat breakfast a lot. I like to go to the hotel for breakfast and pay like $25 to chow down on a buffet that I could never eat enough of to justify the expense. But once in a while, those are pretty good. Or La Quinta Inn used to have a waffle maker, and that was pretty cool. But you'd get there, and the place would be like a swarm of locusts. People, that word got out about the waffle maker. You couldn't get near it. JC, everyone is shocked Hooters is going out of business. What happened? Well, the only reason to go was the hot chicks, and they started to mess with that formula, right? And they got sued. They got sued by men. They got sued by trans men, women. They got sued by fat women. I mean, it was ridiculous. It's almost as if women didn't realize what Hooters was and just wanted it closed. Indie Phantom, Hooters shut down in the location I used to live near, and 2 of the waitresses immediately became strippers in the club across the street. Win! Yeah, we had the Hooters near here, where my friend's wife worked. You know, they would have bikini contests. They had the hottest chicks working there at the time. And then when me and my friends would ask my friend's wife, hey, can you get us dates with the other girls? And she'd be like, oh, you don't want to date them. They're terrible. And we're like, we don't care. She never would hook us up. Ardent at JEC. They started hiring outside their business model. Yeah. I mean, the only reason to go is to see hot waitresses and maybe drink beer and eat terrible food, I guess. But if you stop hiring hot chicks, what's the point? What is the damn point? But nobody can have any fun. Nobody gets to do anything. You can't have... next, they'll go after strip clubs. Oh, you need fat girls and trans women. It's ridiculous. The only reason they don't go after strip clubs is they're too sleazy, and probably not enough money, and organized crime will immediately get bent out of shape. And then good luck laundering your drug money for your political campaign. They're all run by organized crime here. All those strip clubs, except maybe like one. All kinds of nefarious stuff goes on in those places. I say. That's just my opinion, strip clubs. And don't get me wrong, I had an affinity years ago, but not anymore. The thing is, though, if you're gonna have Hooters, you gotta have girls. It's what it's called. It's the name, Hooters. It's not owls. We all know what Hooters means. So why can't men have spaces anymore? That's what really pisses me off. Women were mad we had spaces and they had to invade every single one. I say we go after their spaces. I say we go to shoe stores and demand that there be more men's shoes, more ugly shoes. Yeah, I think we should ask for ugly shoes. I think we should demand a Sports Center play nonstop in all the shoe stores. I think we should go to brunch places and demand hot waitresses, topless ones. That ought to show them. Ardent, I'm going to start my own version of Hooters called IBTCs and still hire hot girls, but with smaller bust sizes. That could work. Well, they did that on South Park. That was Raisins. They did Raisins. Remember that? Yeah, I mean, you just can't have anything close to fun without people ruining it. The moment you start making money, everybody starts to go, wait a minute. We need to sue you. You're making all kinds of money. The only places that they allow that to go on are owned by companies that are so large if you attempt to sue them, they send like 20 lawyers to destroy you. And then you're never heard from again, and then nobody ever sues you again. That's the way it works. Hopefully that is changing. There's some noise about that, but we'll see. We'll see. You should be able to open a business and not have to worry about some bigger business crushing you. But these days, those companies are so large, if you're not making tens of millions of dollars, they don't even see you. Anywho, sorry, I've been on a tangent. What else did I do this weekend? Well, I just went to the Spring Fling, otherwise known as the Tom's River Elks Lodge Jersey Shore comic book show. And that was fine. Some new faces, which was nice. And sold a few books. And so that was my weekend, running around the Pine Barrens. I didn't get any ticks, though. Some other people did, but not me. I was all covered up. If you go into the Pine Barrens, let me tell you something. Cover up. Jeans tucked into your boots, long sleeve shirts, hat. Now, I was told today by a friend there is a chemical you can buy. And the night before, you lay out all your clothes and you spray the chemical all over the clothes, and you're guaranteed not to get ticks. So I'll have to think about buying some of that for the next trip. Ardent, there's supposed to be a new pizza place opening here soon. Local chain called Greco. Really good pizza. Well, that sounds cool. Here in South Jersey, we have mom and pop pizza places everywhere. Literally everywhere. Now we have Domino's, Papa John's, Little Caesars, all those. But those are not nearly as popular as your local pizza place. Because every local pizza joint near me not only has pizza, but has a full Italian menu. They will make you chicken parmesan, they'll make you pasta, they'll make you just about anything you can think of. Veal parmesan, anything. Anything parmesan, basically. They'll make you caprese salad, they'll make you bruschetta, whatever you want. Think of an Italian dish, they pretty much make it. They'll make lasagna, anything. And this is like takeout. In my neighborhood, and remember, I live in a town of 1,900 people. We have 3 pizza places. They're all good. I mean, to a point. I won't say which ones are on top, but there's 1, 2, and 3. 1 is fantastic. 2 is pretty good, but I'm annoyed by the guy who runs it. And 3 is trying, and I like the guy who runs that one. Sometimes I buy his pizza. Ardent, Deet. Ardent, Papa John sucks. Indie Phantom, Greco Pizza is fantastic. My fave local chain. Oh, that's a local chain. It's a chain. Ardent, Domino's sucks worse. Store Bang. Capri Pizza at the Shore Mall. I think I've been there. If I was there, it was years ago. Let's see. My favorite place. Well, my local place is one of my favorite places. And they're very good. They have a brick oven pizza, or brick oven. So that makes all the difference in the world. But there are a lot of local places here. Up where my brother lives, he lives in Columbus, New Jersey, or right near it. There's a lot of good places there, and he's very good he's got a knack for finding good Italian places up near him. And we went to a place near him. Man, it was fantastic. Now, it was a pizza place. Like, half of it's a pizza place. But the restaurant side, like, you know, how pizza places have like a pizza bar where you pick up your pizza, but then they have a little restaurant area. Well, they have a tiny little restaurant area. And let me tell you, the place was packed when we went in there. I mean, it was absolutely packed to the rafters. We had to wait like 40 minutes to get a table. And I thought, there's no way this is going to be worth it. And it was fabulous. It's fabulous food. I've been dying to go back there, but it's a little far away for me. But everywhere here is like that. Every town has like 3 or 4 pizza places in there, all pretty good. It's weird to go to a pizza place and go, "Oh my God, this is the worst pizza I've ever had," or not to be able to get cheesesteaks and Italian food. It's a cornucopia. Our cup runneth over with Italian food down here. So my bar is like, way up here for Italian food. It's like sky high. But that doesn't stop me from ordering chicken parmesan in almost every one of these places. I just had it 2 nights ago. So no, like 3 or 4 nights ago. Oh, it was good. It was good. Man, stream's making me hungry, and I just ate. All right, let's get off of food and get into movies. All right. As you can see, Indie Phantom was right. A Working Man has outshined Disney's Snow White. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is based on a book written by Chuck Dixon, famous comic book writer. Chuck Dixon created Bane, or co-created Bane. He did a run on Batman. He would write The Punisher right around the same time. He was writing Deathstroke, The Terminator, Nightwing, few others. He was a big kahuna back in the comic book days. Now he has this series, and thank God it's doing well. I was really rooting for this movie because, number one, it stars Jason Statham, and I like him in action movies. He's good in that. And number two, Leave On is a book series, so there's a bunch of these stories. So it looks like they're off to a good start. I mean, at least they beat Snow White. $15 million, maybe not quite enough to finance the next 10 movies, but Ardent used to be like that for a little fish and chips place in Newfoundland. So many mom and pop places with amazing food gone the way of the dodo. Now, though, that's a shame. Ardent, Bane is probably my favorite villain from DC. I hear you, but I kind of hate Bane. I never liked Bane. I never thought he was a good character, but I do like Chuck Dixon, so it's kind of a toss-up. And I do want a Working Man. I'd probably go see Working Man in the theaters. Indie Phantom, the irony of a working man beating a crybaby woman. Yeah, the headline, a working man beats Snow White. So 15.2, but it is Amazon. So the money isn't as important because it's really going to be, something that's going to be offered on Amazon Prime, and it's kind of half for the theaters and half for Amazon's customers is the idea. So, and it's, in some ways it's a very typical Jason Statham in movies. Somebody Jason likes is kidnapped or killed or wronged, and then he runs around killing everybody. And then he saves them, and then the end. So, but this, I expect it to be better written because of Chuck Dixon. Now, number 2, dropping for number 1 is Snow White. Now, the big news isn't just that Snow White is number 2 this week, which, it's in almost 1,000 more theaters than A Working Man. The big story is it dropped 66%, which is a lot. That means it's dead. It's done. So last week was 43 million, I think, or 40 million, something like that. And now we're down to 14.2 million. So that is dropping like a rock. So they'll be lucky Snow White will be lucky to crack 7 million next week, maybe somewhere between 5 and 7. It's done. It is done. So you're looking at 143 million for a movie that cost them at least 250 million, possibly more. That's not even counting the advertising. Oh, they're so done. Everybody connected to this movie should be fired. Indie Phantom, the extra bucks are gravy. Same strategy as the Beekeeper. Yeah, I still kind of want to see the Beekeeper, but I'm not killing myself to get to it. If it comes on, it comes on. I want to see the... Is there a budget on this? Oh, the budget's pretty low. It's only $40 million. Now, see, that's a reasonable budget for a movie. So Working Man doesn't have long to go to make its budget back, and so this is probably money. Next week it'll probably do at least 8. So you'll be at, let's see, what is that at? 40? Did I say? It's at 30 worldwide. So next week it'll probably do at least 15. That'll put it over the budget, and then by the end of a month it should be in the black. Indie Phantom, Snow White in so many damn cinemas too. Yeah, Zegler is a poison apple. We were talking about this today at the comic show. She's just, somebody there said she's from New Jersey and went to school with her, or knew somebody who went to school with her and said she's a total mean girl. Ardent, Disney is getting beat up by their own business practices. Captain America 4 and Snow White both apparently got shot 3 times over each. Oh, 3 times over. Yeah, I heard that about Captain America. Snow White, it's kind of hard. They were kind of more hush-hush about it. I know it's been reshot at least once, or part of it. It may not have been reshot so much as... they just went in and drew the dwarves over the guys who were there. Is my guess of what happened. My guess of what happens when that footage leak, Disney panicked, decided to go back and CGI dwarves over all the actors who were all the 7 multicultural guys who hang out with Snow White or something, rather than dwarves, and they didn't want to admit their mistake, so they drew the dwarves over the actors. Then they wrote new scenes for those actors to be, I think they're thieves or something in the movie, and they rewrote it enough. I don't think they shot as much footage as Captain America, but I think what really killed it for them is all that CGI they didn't plan on. But that's just a guess. Who knows? I think they're so stupid and corporate at Disney. They make decisions based on never asking a creative person anything. You don't have to listen to creative people 100% because you are in business, and creative people can luxuriate in their own creations, and they can go down rabbit holes too. They're flighty. They can be nuts, especially the guys. Ardent, the 7 diversity hires. Yeah, I was trying to think of the name you called them. I couldn't think of it. JC, they had sets burned down, butchered in editing, big S show. How did the sets burn down? What was it, Apocalypse Now? They had some problems. But I think the corporate guys, they try to micromanage anything without consulting with any of the creative people, or if they consult them, they just... At this point, they've hired so many yes men in the creative world, and when you're a creative and you're trying to get work, you have to look like a team player. If you don't look like a team player, they're not going to hire you. But if you get hired and all you do is agree with the corporate guy that hired you, you're probably not going to have a very good product, and you probably know it. So what creative guys end up getting hired? I think a lot of terrible ones, and now you add DEI into that mix, and it's a complete effing disaster. Because the DEI hires don't even have to listen to the corporate guys. Indie Phantom, Snow White was supposed to end with a literal battle scene that was filmed and cut completely. Most expensive sequence got axed. I'd kind of like to see that sequence, because they added, like, the ending of the movie is that big musical number where we're all dressed in white. JC, Walt's ghost saw what they were doing and started a fire. I'll show them. Oh no, that's Mickey Mouse. That's not Walt. He didn't talk that way, I don't think. Yeah, it's just, and it didn't have to happen. I mean, the arrogance of this people is mind-blowing. Imagine being a corporate guy at Disney and you think, oh, I'm an MBA. I'm going to direct the talent to do something completely against, their abilities and their wishes. I'll make such a hostile work environment that they'll just agree with me because they work for me. And then, when anybody complains, I'll say, well, they're a bunch of toxic trolls and they don't know anything. See, this is why I think the CCP is really behind the scenes in the corporate levels of Disney just pushing this stuff. Because what other explanation is there? There has to be people in that corporate level who, I mean, they're not stupid. You don't get stupid to get an MBA. At some level, there has to be some corporate guys going, well, maybe we should rehire some different creative people, or, not all these people are talented. I'm not seeing the talent. Like, instead of doing that, they're just kind of picking up the baton and trying to do it themselves. Corporate guys, you can't do creative stuff. Like, I tried to explain it to a guy once. I don't want to say who it is. He's a nice guy. But he had spent his life doing non-creative stuff. He had gotten into the creative world, and he wasn't bad at it. But what I tried to explain to him was, like, while you were learning your other job, while these corporate guys were getting their MBAs, I was writing stories. And when you guys were in college, still getting your MBAs and your various degrees, I was in college, and I was still writing stories. And I was doing creative stuff. So by the time these guys get out of their, MBA and end up at a place like Disney or whatever studio and start taking dives into creative stuff, they're doing stuff I did in the 7th grade. You're making creative decisions that are way above your pay grade. But there's nobody there at the studio to say, no, don't make those. Like, somebody would have to, a guy like Walt Disney was that guy, because he was an animator and a guy who could run a business. So Walt Disney was the guy who would step up and say, I'm just going to do Mickey Mouse because it's funny. No, you can't do that. Ha! You're in accounting. Go do accounting. Oh, let the creative guys do their thing. Ha! That's what you need to do. The creative guys have to do their creative thing, and the accountant guys and the executives, they have to do the money thing. Now, they can put limits on the money. That's reasonable. They can say, for instance, to the people who make Snow White, you only have $40 million to do this. And if there's extenuating circumstances, maybe they give them another couple of million to finish. But their job is to handle the money and marketing, and the creative people is do the creative stuff. And they have to work together in the marketing to make sure the marketing doesn't give away the story, or that, they're not hiding the best parts of the film that you need for marketing. But these entities aren't working together anymore, especially at Disney. They're really not working together in any of the major studios. And I call that sabotage, because it's pretty effing obvious. You'd think one of the major studios would go, oh, all the current movies suck. They're not making money. Everybody's losing their shirts. Hey, let's go back to the old way and do it the old way and make basic movies. There's only one studio I know of that's kind of doing that, and that's Tubi. Tubi's making original films, and they're all meat and potatoes, right? There's stuff you totally recognize. There's romance and revenge movies and comedies. It's all on Tubi. They don't have a lot of money, but they're making them. Meanwhile, Disney, Snow White, feminist Snow White. I think there's another feminist Frankenstein movie in the pipeline. I forget who's making it. Jake Gyllenhaal's sister's directing it, and I think Helen Bonham Carter's in it, and Christian Bale. It's probably going to be a big disaster. Do, 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 do. Arden. Hey. So, yeah. These people need someone to come in and say, you're idiots. You're fired, you're fired, you're fired. But will anybody do that? Well, that was Bob Iger's job, I think. He can't even fire Kathleen Kennedy. And look at her track record at this point. I mean, if you can't fire Kathleen Kennedy, if you can't at least publicly be like, this woman is a disaster, she's destroying Star Wars. I mean, you really should just leave. But I don't think it's about the movies for them. They're just about their money, I think. Indie Phantom. Warner Brothers is really taking a bath on their auteur projects. Well, again, you got to rein them in. You got to give them a budget. And you got to pick guys who are making like real movies. You know, I mean, the feminist Frankenstein movie, I think it came out of Warner Brothers. Was that the Emma Stone one? That didn't look great. Didn't look like a movie that would appeal to a broad audience. I mean, look, I used to complain that movies were too broad and, you know, needed something a little more focused. Now it's the complete opposite. They put out movies, I don't know who they're for. They're for like 10 people. And I think 8 of them don't see the damn movie. Indie Phantom. Tubi is streaming done smart. Yeah, I think so. I think they're in it for the long haul. And that's the other thing, too. If you're only looking to your next quarter, it's smart to cannibalize your back catalog and just keep remaking stuff until it dies. Let somebody else worry about that. You make your money, get out in 2 years, and it's somebody else's problem. Disney's not going to have anything left to make. And they may not even have any money left by the time they get to the end. I believe they're being completely cannibalized from the inside. Some of that's the CCP, and some of that's just people who are strictly careerist. Maybe they've tried to change things, and they just realized nobody's listening to them. Everybody's out for themselves. You know? We could have had a really good X-Men 3 movie back when Singer was directing. Not that I'm a big fan of his anymore, but he did a good job with the first 2 movies, and they were trying to hire him away, and eventually, the rumor is, by the 3rd movie, they hired him away. And part of that was internal politics behind the scenes. The studio had switched. The new studio execs didn't want the X-Men franchise to succeed because the previous execs had greenlit it. So they kind of sabotaged it, is the word. So this is the kind of stuff that goes on in Hollywood. At this point, it could be the entire Disney Corporation is one big sacrifice on the altar of somebody's career at this point. Maybe at BlackRock, I don't know. But if you look at what's happened to Ubisoft has put out this Black Samurai game, and 15% of the company is owned by a Chinese company, Tencent. Now that, and this game is just complete wreck, it appears to me. So they put out the game. They made several announcements, like the entire company is on the line because of this game. And now the game's out. It's a disaster. It looks like they're in real financial trouble. And now here comes along the Chinese company, Tencent, that already owned 15%. Now you would think a company that owned 15% of a failing company would be like, we got to get out of here. We got to sell off this company before it's not worth anything. No, they're buying up Ubisoft. Why? Well, as Razorfist points out on his tweet, and I believe this, they push the ESG, the company fails, they already own 15%, and then they swoop in and buy the rest of it. Now they own the company. Do you think it's going to be woke under the Chinese? I don't think it will be. I think suddenly all those people are going to be fired. And suddenly, none of the games are going to be woke. Because the Chinese company that runs it wants money. Now, they're not going to be able to criticize China Oh, you're never going to criticize China under a Chinese communist country. So this is the plan, I think, for Disney. Now, I don't think they'll succeed with Disney because I think Disney has too many assets, too much money. It's destroyed completely. But look at the damage. And they're preparing to double down. Like, Disney's not backing down on much of this ESG nonsense, it seems to me. Maybe they are, but I don't know. As long as Iger that is there, I don't see it going away yet. They at this point they've killed the brand. Look at Daredevil. Daredevil apparently is a pretty watchable show. No one's watching it. That is a huge red flag that the brand of the MCU and Disney are dead or dying. Who's going to watch a Disney movie with their kids now? Who's going to watch that? Who's going to go to the Disney parks? Universal is opening up Harry Potter World. It's all new, current stuff. Disney World has just built Tiana based on a movie that's over 20 years old. They're building an extension to... they're building some ride for Cars. That's another movie that's pretty old. Where's the new stuff? Where's the current Disney stuff? When you're cannibalizing your own catalog, you have nothing to build upon. The only thing I think that Disney could build would be like Pixar Land or toys. I guess maybe they have a Toy Story thing, but they need something for Inside Out. It was their biggest hit. That's the friggin' movie you should be building a ride around. I don't care what it is. Just make it's the In and Out or it's the Inside Out bumper cars. Inside Out 2 bumper cars, and you got all the characters. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Just make something current. Harry Potter is now going to be current again. They're remaking the whole show. Well, they're remaking the movies as a show. They're recasting. They're talking about it. It's in all the trades. It's a big deal. Harry Potter Land's going to be huge. Where would you rather take your kid? What are they even going to know? Are they going to know a movie from 20 years ago? At least with Snow White and characters like that, they were classics. You could justify it by saying, oh, I went here as a kid, now I'm going to take my kid there. Now what is it? It's nothing. It's I don't know, cartoons from 20 years ago? Most of them are pretty forgettable. Even those Cars movies and whatnot. You know, the character's McQueen. That's a reference to Steve McQueen. Nobody remembers Steve McQueen. Like, I remember Steve McQueen. Movie heads will remember Steve McQueen. But some kid who saw the cartoon doesn't know who McQueen is. Doesn't get the reference. It's so far removed. It's such a shadow of a shadow of a shadow of itself. The Disney original characters were the core of the whole thing. Now they're going away. Oh, they're going in public domain. So what? You were the keepers of those IPs. If anybody wanted to go for authentic Disney, they had to go to you. Even if somebody completely copies the whole park, you could do you want to go to the copy Disney? No, I'll go to the real Disney. Ardent. Tubi had a great film in Weird. That was a really low budget, but so much fun. Sorry, way behind. Indie Phantom. New Daredevil is not in the conversation. All right. Let's move on. Number 3, The Chosen, Last Supper Part 1. The Chosen? This is a Fathom Events thing. It's number 3 in the country. Hold the phone. Jesus. That's crazy. Fathom Events is going to take over. They're going to have their own theater chain. That'll be the next move. Maybe they'll buy AMC or something. Be a smart move. Just buy them out. Buy some theater chain. Run it differently. Run it well. How about cutting out the previews? Just cut them all. Show like a 30-second preview. Go buy popcorn. We're starting a movie in a minute or whatever. maybe show one preview of a movie you're actually showing in the next theater or something. Get to the damn movie. That would be nice. So $11 million. No way this show cost that much. This is a TV show, right? It doesn't have its budget. This thing, they're spending more money on these kinds of religious things, but they never cost a lot of money. Number 4 is The Woman in the Yard. I was just talking about this movie today, too. Premieres at $9.4 million. This is a horror movie. I don't quite get what this is, but I think it's some sort of ghost character that's haunting this family. No budget. A lone spectral woman shrouded entirely in black appears on a family front lawn without explanation and warns them, today's the day. Where did she come from? What does she want? When will she leave? Only the woman in the yard knows. All right. Number 5 is Death of a Unicorn, premiering at $5.7 million. Now, I have mixed feelings about this because it is an actual comedy starring Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. But I don't know. It looks... the production's only $15 million. Yeah, it's almost too late at this point to start doing comedies. You got to go even lower than that, unfortunately. And you got to get funny people. Like, Paul Rudd's okay, but he's not a writer. He's not a stand-up comic. Jenna Ortega's just eye candy at this point. LeMay, Nintendo Land is big. More kids recognize Mario over Mickey Mouse. That's for sure. He is the new Mickey Mouse. Florida or California to go to Disney World specifically because it was so wholesome. It was like a safe zone for kids, and you didn't have to worry. Now, all I hear every week, there's problems with the rides. There's fires. There's fights at the parks. There's all sorts of problems with the ticket prices going up. Although recently they announced a bunch of prices going down for discounts, but I think it's too little too late. I think they're in a panic trying to get people back to the damn park. I think they took it for granted too many years, and now they're screwed. They've got nothing to offer. The brand is damaged beyond repair. They just put in... Here's a story, and I talked about this. They just put in Luke Skywalker in Star Wars Land. Just now. And they had to make an announcement. How absolutely retarded is that? When you think Star Wars Land, they're building Star Wars Land. Like, before they built anything else, the first thing they would have built would have been a statue to Luke Skywalker and start casting the guy who would walk around and pretend to be Luke Skywalker. Now they're finally adding Luke Skywalker. After Kathleen Kennedy did horrible things to Star Wars, in my view, now they're finally adding Luke Skywalker. What a hate boner Kathleen Kennedy must have for that character. It's incredible. This character could have carried the entire Star Wars land into profit for Disney. Instead, they went out of their way to keep Luke Skywalker out of Star Wars land as much as possible until now. Now you finally get to see Luke Skywalker. If any of you out there were building Star Wars land, your first thing would have been to cast, we need a Luke Skywalker to walk around the park and say, hi, I'm Luke Skywalker. It's incredible. The idiocy at Disney. Everybody should be fired. Everybody should be fired for that alone. But the people who run Disney, the shareholders, they love the ESG stuff. They love the woke stuff. That they want to double and triple down on it. They love it so much. Those people, I think, some of them are Disney heirs. I don't think they want for money at all, and they are just so 100% captured by the woke mind virus. They think they're doing God's work, pushing that. So, They're done. They are so done, I think. Ardent. Woman in the Yard feels kind of like Rumpelstiltskin Faust cursed Dealey based on the trailer. Yeah, kind of hard to get a read. It might be a ghost, or it might be like someone haunted by a relative or a witch or something like that. I don't know. I wish it was based on something. But, you know, in South Jersey, we have the woman in white, the lady in black, the lady in red, other ghosts like that. So they could easily tie it into something like that. But Death of the Unicorn seems could be funny. It's got some funny people in it. It doesn't look very funny in the trailer, though. And since, you know, there's just been so few comedies coming out, it just feels like too little too late. You know, you have to really dazzle people with a comedy take. Like a comedy now would have to be so outrageous, so over the top, and so on point. You know? Like, you can't really do the outrageous part, because Hollywood's version of outrageous is to do stuff that's more and more degenerate, I think. And I don't use that word a lot. I'm not like one of the right-wing bloggers that use the term, it's a degenerate. Like, I don't do that, but it's the only way I could describe it at this point, you know. The White Lotus just had a kiss between two brothers. Like a romantic kiss. It's messed up. Like, that's just messed up. Like, so it would have to be a story about real people. And in order for that to happen, you can't make it about rich people. Because, now, if they make it about rich people, the one advantage they have is just about everybody working on this film is probably rich. So it'll ring true. But the problem is nobody wants to root for rich people. They don't relate to them. So you got to have something that, you know, the average person can kind of sink their teeth in, and it's funny, and it's not depressing. It's not like one of these stories, I worked in a coal town, and the opioid crisis made everybody addicted, and everybody's dying and lost their job. Like, nobody wants to see that. But if you take a movie like that and turn it into a comedy, that could be funny, but it has to be relatable to an audience that is going to go see this damn thing. Death of the Unicorn just sounds like some rich people, and they find a unicorn, they accidentally kill it, and then the mama unicorn comes back to kill them all. And then it sounds like a big pharmaceutical message, too. A little late on that one. I don't know. It didn't look that good. Indie Phantom. Another streaming title that had just been put in the cinemas. Ortega doesn't look that good in it. LeMay. Cast Darth Vader, too. Yeah, I think Darth Vader's always been in Star Wars land. Ardent. Disney wouldn't have Luke Skywalker walking around. He'd be expected to say, I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. Yeah. Yeah, and all the great lines from the movie. Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? And stuff like that. But now the movie's so old, and they waited so long to do it, who cares at this point? But I want to like Death of the Unicorn, but it's so, you know, it's such a movie I could wait for streaming. So it's probably dies a slow death in theaters, doesn't make its money, and they go, oh yeah, comedies don't make money. I don't know. Is this funny? It doesn't seem that funny. It seems okay. It seems like it would be watchable. But the problem is you can't do a movie about real people, because you almost have to make fun of woke people in a real movie about people now. You have to. There's no way around it. You know, in my own life, I was at an event, not today, it was months ago, and I can finally tell you this story because I didn't want to mention which event I was at. But I'm at this event, and at this in this particular town, there's a trans person. But it's one of these trans people who doesn't even attempt to present, right? It's a dude. He's fat. He's got a beard. He's bald. He doesn't have a wig on, but he's got a skin tight, like, leotard on and, like, kind of a skirt thing going on. And he's got really bad makeup all over his face. And he's acting like super turbo gay. Like, just flaming, like, you think it's a joke when you see him, but it's not. And he loudly talks on his phone to other people about how it's great he's trans. Like, loudly. And he came to my table and he started looking at books, but, like, he sort of roughly picked them up, like, with contempt, like this. And he kept doing that. And I didn't acknowledge him because, fortunately, I had another customer and I could ignore him. And out of the corner of my eye, eventually I saw him get bored, put it down, and move to go perform in front of somebody else. LeMay, poor kid becomes rich. Yeah, but in order to write that story, you need to remember what it was like to be poor. And few people in Hollywood can, because they're all Nepo babies, and most of them were born into the business. But yeah, I mean, that guy was a total clown. A total clown. I don't even think he's trans. I think he's just weird. So a character like that, you can't put that in a movie in Hollywood. You just can't. You can't have a character like that. You can't make fun of trans people, even though that's exactly what they need to have happen, because that's equal treatment. Everybody gets made of fun in a movie, just like South Park. Does South Park spare anybody? No. That's why it's so funny. Everybody gets made fun of in South Park. That's exactly what should happen. But you can't get that greenlit in Hollywood. There's no way. There's no way. Arnett. Oh, good. I got kicked out of the stream. Oh, no. What happened? What happened? Here, let me check on my stream's health. Oh, stream health looks bad. No, that's viewers. Always get that confused. Oh, I had 31 views already. Oh, looks like there were a lot of people in there. Let's see the stream health. Stream is healthy. This is all I can tell you, because the tools on YouTube are useless. Stream is healthy. That's all I know. Here. Stay with us, Ardent. There we go. Try to keep Ardent in a loop here. Here. Keep you in the loop as best I can. We're talking about movies and trans people. Indie Phantom. It's ma'am. Yeah, he wasn't angry trans woman. He was just really annoying trans person who wanted lots of attention. Like, I think he wanted a confrontation where I go, hey, go easy on the books or something. And I wasn't touching the books that roughly. And then I got to get into a big argument with him. So I just didn't give him any air, and then he left. Arnett, I'm not dead, LOL. But you got to make fun of people like that. You got to make fun of all the stupid woke rules they put in, every single business. But that's all going away. But a lot of it's still there. Like, it's going away slowly, but a lot of it's still there. And there are people who are like woke-tards who still believe in this. And you got to make fun of women. Sorry, ladies, you got to make fun of women. And, not just Karens, but a lot of these woke women. Now, we make fun of that every day on X, and it's hilarious. You can't put that in a movie in Hollywood and get it greenlit. What'll happen is you'll put it in a movie, right? You'll write a screenplay, whatever it is, about some normal people having normal interaction. You'll have all these funny scenes, and you'll have a big scene with a wacky trans person. You'll have a big scene with some idiot woke Karen who's making everybody's lives miserable, and she gets her comeuppance. And then the studio will be like, ha ha ha, this is a really funny movie. But listen, we don't want to pick on the trans people. So can you change the trans person to just an obnoxious homeless man, maybe? And they don't understand comedy, so they'll take all that. They'll gut it. They'll just gut the comedy, and then you're left with nothing. You're left with a screenplay that nobody wants. So, I mean, Wokistan, a novel, would be a great movie. That's kind of the way I write all my books. So, Wokistan, a novel, and Hollywoke, they're both designed to be movies. You could make Wokistan a novel. It would be freaking hilarious because everybody would get it. Right now is the time to make Wokistan a novel and Hollywoke. When will they make it? Well, maybe after I'm very, very famous 20 years from now, they'll make it. And by that time, people will be like, oh yeah, 20 years ago, everybody, didn't something happen at Columbia and there was a bunch of idiots? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be about that. That's the way they'll look at it. Storebang, I was on the edge of my seat about the fat, bald TR when the stream cut off. Oh, no. Hold on. Let me use my YouTube tools to check on the stream. Stream is healthy. That's all I know. That's all I know. Oh, look. Yeah, the stream is out. Hold on. Let's see if I can make this work. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I kind of fixed it, I guess. Okay, so the fat, bald trans person just wanted a lot of attention and was touching my books, but I refused to give it to him. And I was dealing with another customer anyway, was actually buying something, and fortunately he just went away. But the moment I mentioned them to some of my friends who go to that town, they all knew who I was talking about because he kind of lives there. He lives in this town, and he's kind of that obnoxious that everybody knows him. And so he's constantly sort of attention. And he's not the only trans person that does that, right? There's a bunch of trans people who love the attention, and it doesn't matter good or bad. And you could totally make fun of that all day long. But people in Hollywood would lose their damn minds if you even pitched it to them. Indie Phantom, I watched the first 2 episodes of The Studio. There were some anti-woke jokes. Kind of weird to make a new comedy about Hollywood execs, but better than expected. Some Entourage vibes. Well, that's good, I guess. Hollywood does love their navel gazing. But you got to go for the comedy jugular. I don't know if Seth Rogen does that anymore. I do like Catherine Hahn back in the comedy, though. And that's where she belongs. If they had made Agatha All Along as a comedy, I bet it would have been a big hit. Oh man, it would have been a huge hit. If you had made that a comedy, Catherine would have knocked it out of the park. Instead, they put her in some, I don't even know what that show was. But that's good. I mean, look, as much as I can't stand Seth Rogen now, back in the day, him and Evan Goldberg were very, very funny. This Is the End is still one of my favorites. I can't help but love that movie. It made fun of Hollywood. They made fun of themselves. They had great cameos. Everybody dies in it. It's friggin' hilarious. I mean, that didn't really pull any punches. And that's what they need to do. With the studio, who the F cares what's going on in Hollywood right now? What's going on in Hollywood is they're burning it to the ground. What they need is a bunch of storylines about how the Chinese are ruining the damn town, I think. The Chinese communists, that is. Not the Chinese Americans. Let me make that distinction over and over again. We're talking about the Chinese communists who are specifically here to sabotage everything. But maybe I'll check it out. What's it on? It's on, I think it's on something I get, like Max or something, isn't it? I don't remember. Indie Phantom, Scorsese cameo was pretty fun. He pitched a Jonestown movie for the Kool-Aid Man IP. Okay, I like that. That's pretty good. But but even if it's good for the studio, I mean, it's such inside baseball. You know, for me, it'll be probably pretty funny, and for you guys, you're all movie heads. But like for the average person, like to me, I don't know if you saw Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang. To me, that's like a great every person comedy. Because number one, it's really funny. And number two, it's just got a wacky premise with two comedic actors and comedians just delivering one bit after another. It's great. Indie Phantom, the studio on Apple TV. I saw it online. Oh, okay. No, I don't have that. Well, I have it, but I still haven't figured out how to hook it up. I got to hook it up one of these days. So I kind of want to see the unicorn, Death of the Unicorn, but I don't want to pay for it, so I might just wait for it to plop on streaming. But then again, I want comedies to come back, and if this doesn't do well, it's like, I don't know. They need to hire some freaking comedians. Indie Phantom, Norm Macdonald was hilarious. Yeah, that Dirty Work movie, I'm so sorry I missed that when it came out. When I finally saw it, I was like, oh, this was a gem. Number 6, Princess Mononoke. That's got to be a anime thing, right? Yep. 4 million. 4 million at the box office. It's only in 330 theaters, and it's number 6. Look at that. Look at that. It's only in 330 theaters. Now, this is an old movie. Yeah, this has been out for a while. What would that be? That's a few years. It's got to be a classic then. But still, though, that's quite a good amount of money for only being in 300 theaters or so. Ardent, Princess Mononoke, that's a release? No. Indie Phantom, Princess Mononoke is like 20 years old, brought back. But look how well it's doing. It's doing really well. I mean, that must have some fan base for this many people to go see it. That's pretty impressive, though, even for a 20-year-old movie. You know, you're doing 4 million. You're the 6th biggest movie in the country. This means these other movies, they're not doing well. LeMay, old anime movie from Studio Ghibli. Oh my God. And it's Studio Ghibli? That's no wonder it's doing well. Everybody's talking about Studio Ghibli this week. Indie Phantom, I thought Mononoke sucked. Boring anime crap. Yeah, but it's the studio. Everybody's been doing various people and pictures in the Ghibli style. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Indie Phantom, it's a Miyazaki. Oh, well, look, it beat out Captain America Brave New World, which dropped from 3 to 7 in its 7th week. LeMay at Indie Phantom, very preachy. So Captain America Brave New World didn't even make that much. That's how bad that movie is. 2.8 million. Pretty much done. Indie Phantom, yeah, LeMay. Number 8, dropping from number 2 is Black Bag, dropped 50% to 2.1 million. This is that Steven Soderbergh movie. I don't even think this made its money back. Well, we know Captain America. There's no way that happened. 31 million? Yeah, it's a $60 million movie, and it is done. Stick a fork in it, it's over. It is over. Still in 2,000 theaters. Might as well stick Princess Mononoke in those 2,000 theaters. I think it would have made more money. Hell, I want to see it now after this. Dropping a 9 from 5 is Mickey 17 in its fourth week, 1.9 million. And this is another loss. Another loser of a movie. $118 million. It just made its budgets back. But that's probably not money. It's a terrible movie poster. Oh, I guess that's the clones. Now I get it. Never mind. Dropping the 10 from 4 is Novocaine. Now, this is an action comedy right up my alley. Indie Phantom, Brave New World hanging around like a bad smell. Indie Phantom, Novocaine had no legs. That's a shame. It really didn't. 1.4 million in its third week. Sucks. Sucks. I was rooting for that movie. The Kraken is here. Hi, Tony. Didn't you have a thing today? How did it go? I did. I went to Spring Fling, and it went okay. It went pretty good. It was a very enthusiastic crowd. I sold a few books, and then the people I didn't sell to, there were a lot of new faces there, and the Kraken at Tom's River, yes. I gave out my postcard, and I felt pretty good about the new people I met, and they seemed to be excited about the book series. So, yeah, it was a good day. Good day, good enough. I was a little spoiled by when was it? The beginning of the month when I friggin' rocked it, and I sold 111 books in like 3 days. But today was okay. The Kraken, glad to hear. Well, thank you for joining us. We are talking about, what is this movie? L2 Empyrean? What is this? I have no idea what this is. What the heck is this? All right. Let us go to the IMDb. Seems like a foreign movie. Oh, no, can't do that. Stop. There it is. There it is. The Journey of Stephen Nedumpally, a man leading a double life as Kurishi Abrim, an enigmatic leader of a powerful global crime syndicate. Oh, this sounds like a Bollywood thing. Director, holy crap. I'm going to try this name. Wish me luck. The Kraken looks Arthurian with the dragon symbol. Nope. It is very, very Hindi, I think. So let me try this director's name. Prithviraj Sukumaran. I think I nailed that. The writer is Murali Gopi. Or Gopi. Gopi. I think it's Gopi. It's always slow-mo in these things. It looks cool. Their movies always look cool. They got cool lighting. Got drugs. And it looks like people smuggling. Oh, all kinds of stuff going on in this movie. See, this is an exciting trailer. Turkey, London, Yemen, Senegal, Iraq, China. All right, this got it going on. I want to see this movie. Looks cool to me. And we can't make a James Bond movie to save our lives. Look at the Indians are making us look like idiots. Nice job, Bollywood. You're doing good work. But only 2.2 million, or 1.2 million here. But it just opened, and we don't have Indian numbers, so that is something I might watch. Number 12 is The Penguin Lessons. Oh, this finally came out. This is a cute little movie, I guess. It's Steve Coogan as this guy who befriends a penguin based on a true story. And the penguin becomes his friend and comes back to visit him every year. Or something. Something like that. There's no way it's going to make its money. Now, Steve Coogan is pound for pound one of the funniest guys out of the UK. Why don't they give him comedy movies to make? He did Hamlet 2, which if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's really good. He also did a character on the BBC. I can't think of his name, but it was really funny. He's in Tropic Thunder. He's the director. He gets killed early in the movie, and Ben Stiller picks up his head and goes, "This is fake. This is fake blood." And he goes, "Ah." He's so funny, but the Penguin's Lessons doesn't look like it's gonna even be half that funny. It just looks cute. You know, one of those movies, the penguin that becomes his friend, and they get through life together, and blah blah blah. It's like something you'd take your kid to see. Number 13, dropping from 6. Oh, you want to talk about no legs? If you want to talk about a paraplegic of a movie, that would be Alto Nights. The Alto Nights, starring Robert De Niro. It still did 1.1 million, but it dropped 65% in its second week, and it didn't start strong at all. And it's in 2,600 theaters. I don't understand. You don't want to see Robert De Niro talk to Robert De Niro for 90 minutes? Or 2 hours? I bet this thing was way over 2 hours. Hold on. I'll clock this in at 2:15. 2:03. 2 hours and 3 minutes. Look at him. He's playing two different characters, and they talk exactly the same. You can interview all the guys around him you want. It's not going to make me laugh any less at that movie. Robert De Niro and Robert De Niro playing gangsters, as you've seen him before in every single movie he's in. Why don't you just make him play everybody in the cast? He's only in his mid-80s or something like that. What is he, 83, I think? How old is Robert De Niro? Place your bets. Oh, it's Barry Levinson directed this thing. Let's see. He was born in 43. So, yeah, he's 82, 83. Yeah, he can't do this. Should be giving him less of a role, not two roles in one movie. Indie Phantom, seen like two really fresh takes on DiGerolamo. Jesus. It's made 8.9 million. The Kraken. He's one-dimensional in my opinion. I really never liked him much, even less after he developed a severe case of TDS. Indie Phantom. Levinson is also 82. Well, there you go. These guys have just been keep working with each other. Here's the budget, 45 million. And 8.9 million. And you know what, too? This movie got way too much advertising. So you dumped all your advertising into this. What about all the other movies you got on the slate that, you know? Robert De Niro was... Look, nobody was... People, there's a fan base for him. Yeah, you have to get the word out, but what about all the other movies you put out? They dumped a ton of money into this. But they're going to lose it. At this rate, it isn't even going to make its budget back. There's no way. Where's the money? Where's the money? Which one of these movies made money? None of them. Well, The Chosen probably made money. That probably cost nothing. The Empyrean, L2 The Empyrean probably made money. Again, that probably cost nothing. But almost all these movies lost money. Woman in the Yard might make money. Death of the Unicorn probably won't make money. Working Man has a good shot at it. I think it'll do okay. I think it'll definitely make its budget and more. Novocaine, did that make money? 27 million, maybe. I mean, it could be pretty low budget. That seems kind of super low for Hollywood. Where's the money? Dogman? That might have made money. Probably made money. It's in its 9th week. Made $850K. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. This definitely did not make money. $700K. Paddington in Peru. Probably made some money. Production budget, $75 million. Yep, that's money. No question about that. The Monkey. $610K. Did this make money? Yep. $11 million. There's your money. There's your budget. Spend $11 million and make $63. It's $50 million return. It's almost 5 times what you spent on it. How could you not make movies like this? I get it. Once in a while you want to make a big movie. I get it. Sure, I want to make big movies too. But your bread and butter is a movie like The Monkey. I mean, it's a Stephen King thing. I don't even want to give him money. He annoys me so much now. But the movie made money. Indie Phantom, probably going to watch The Monkey with low expectations. It looks fairly entertaining. I mean, it's all a bunch of crazy kills, right? That's the deal with it. It's really more of a... It strikes me as more of like a Twilight Zone episode. I think it's based on a short story by Stephen King. They're really going through his catalog. The Last Supper, again? It was a different Last Supper. $295K. Made $6 million. 6.2 million? That's probably not money yet. Could be. Indie Phantom, yeah, I like that kind of horror. Yeah, I think it'll deliver what it's not making promises it can't keep. Mufasa, The Lion King, that's somehow made money, unfortunately. But again, cannibalizing your own catalog. $245K. One of Them Days, this definitely made money. But that came out 11 weeks ago. $222K. The Last Breath, I don't think this made money. Got more losers than winners on this list. 22 million? I doubt it. I doubt it for an underwater movie with Woody Harrelson. It's got some effects. The Last Ballad of Wallace Island, $92,000 premieres. But it's in 4 theaters. The Encampments. Oh, wait. Let's go back to the Island movie for a sec. Oh, I know this. Okay, so this is a movie. It's about a couple of folk singers and a fan. They were married and they were in a band together, but they got divorced. And now one of their fans brings them to the island for a concert, and then it's about them getting back together, maybe. It looks fine, I guess. The Encampment, 76K. No poster. With raw emotional footage and in-depth interviews with whistleblower professors and central organizers, The Encampments tells the full story of the Colombian encampment and the global movement it spawned? Are you out of your minds? The film chronicles the protest escalation from Colombia's administration banning student organizations from Palestine to the mass arrests that broke a 50-year police ban on campus. That sounds like a totally biased documentary to me. But sure, I guess all the Colombian students could go see it to watch themselves. Next is The Friend from Bleecker Street. 66K, another premiere. Oh, this is that Bill Murray movie. He plays an older guy who dies and leaves a dog to Naomi Watts. and then the dog becomes her friend and changes her life or whatever. It looks fine, but doesn't look like it's going anywhere yet. Maybe it'll be Bill Murray's Oscar for supporting actor or something. Because it's all about women. Naomi Watts is going through some things, and her friend died, and she's got his dog, and things are happening. And will she be empowered or not? Everybody wants to know. Who made the movie? Ephus. I forget what this movie's about. Doesn't look like it's doing well. Oh yeah, this is like a baseball movie. Yeah, it's like another version of The Sandlot. 391K. Ouch. Yeah, that sounds like no bueno. Big no bueno. Wow. But in its defense, it's only in 63 theaters, and it didn't get any kind of distribution. Misericordia. That French. It's some French movie. Not interested in the French movie that only made 38K this week. It's up to 73K in its second week. Okay, whatever. Opus, it's in its third week. 26K. It was in over 1,000 theaters last week. Now it's going away. Okay. Guess it didn't do anything. John Malkovich is in this movie, but it's really about this actress, so 2 million. I believe it cost more than that. A complete unknown $18,000 going out of theaters after 14 weeks. Thank you very much. A new movie in 29 theaters. What is this about? Andy Kaufman, provocative comedy often outraged audiences, challenging them to confront their own presumptions. So this looks to be a documentary on Andy Kaufman. So that can only do so much. That's really a streaming thing. I don't know a lot of people who go to theaters for documentaries anymore. Doesn't seem like a place to see a documentary. Like, that is absolutely a streaming thing. What documentary would you see in the theaters that you would have to see on theaters? Only maybe a nature documentary, because, you know, sweeping vistas, shots of animals flying along, maybe ones in space, but yeah, I don't know. Something like Andy Kaufman, you wouldn't need to see that. In fact, a lot of footage is probably old and grainy. Like, that wouldn't look good on a big screen. Look better on your TV, actually. Moana 2, 14K. Going out of theaters after being a complete beast. On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, 13K. Didn't even crack 200K in total. Indie Phantom, have the Kaufman doc on my computer, but haven't watched it yet. Must be streaming somewhere. Unholy Song, in its 5th week, made $9,800, and it's only made $39,000. That's no bueno. And finally, Janice Ian, Breaking Silence. That sounds like a documentary. It just premiered. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, it appears to be some kind of documentary. All right. So the total this week is 76 million and change. Not a great week. And we are at the end of March here. We're in spring. Springtime, baby. It's just in the pines. I don't need your stupid movies. I go out and get some fresh air. And then lots of ticks. It was nice out. It was. The weather was beautiful yesterday. I don't know why anybody would waste time in a movie theater anymore. I used to go all the time. I used to love it. But that was back in the 80s. We had a cornucopia. Our cup overfloweth back in the 80s with movies. Now, they just... It's just sad. It's just a sad lineup. It gets sadder every week, it seems. I mean, A Working Man gives me a glimmer of hope. That movie I would go to the theaters to see. Just to support Chuck Dixon, and you know, it's got stunts, so it kind of plays a little better on the screen if you get a good seat. But man, what a wreck. What a wreck of a weekend. I mean, and they expected Snow White to do well. That's the crazy thing. And look at how many new movies dropped this week. It's like Disney almost rigged it so nothing would be against it last week. And they still kind of underperformed. And now they're going down the tubes. If anything, you wanted this week not to be the competitive week. But it's not the number one movie no more. They must have known how bad this movie was. They must have took one look at it and said, all right, that's the best we can do. Just release this stupid turd and let's try to polish it as best we can. I honestly, I would love to be in the meetings with them talking about the storyline on this thing. Oh, she's a strong, empowered woman. Yes, she's going to be a leader. She's not going to need the prince. Oh, she's not going to need the prince. No, there's not even going to be a prince in it. Really? That sounds great. Can you imagine the smarmy a-holes talking about this movie like it's going to be an amazing thing? Oh, she's not going to need a prince. Well, what about the song, Someday My Prince Will Come? Is she talking about Prince the singer? No, we're just cutting that song entirely. A classic song and you're cutting it entirely? Yeah. I mean, Indie Phantom, any big releases this coming week to push Snow Woke back further? I don't know. Let's see. Coming soon. IMDb. I can never find it on their stupid calendar. I have to find their account. I have to find things off their site. So next week is Screamboat, which is the Mickey Mouse horror movie. So that's nothing to me. They're billing it as a comedy horror, but I don't know. Oh, then Minecraft movie. That should probably do well, I guess. I guess. I don't know. I mean, look. I loved playing video games. But I have zero desire to see Mortal Kombat movie or Mario movie or... I mean, there's lots of video games. I don't know why people go see a video game movie. Like Minecraft. Minecraft doesn't have much of a story. Like, at least, I don't know, Mario had a little bit of a story, I guess. Zelda has a story, but the Minecraft movie? I don't get it. So that would be the next biggest release, April 4th. What is that? Is that the weekend? Yeah, so this is the weekend. The Luckiest Man Alive, that's the game show one. That could do okay. Freaky Tales. What the hell is Freaky Tales? Pedro Pascal. Oh, this movie also takes place in the 80s. I don't know. That might do okay. That looked watchable. The Grove. A Nice Indian Boy. Eric LaRue. And Wake Up. Action horror. Wake Up. What is that one? That looks like it was made 2 years ago. Wake Up. In an attempt to draw attention to the environmental crisis. Oh, I did see this trailer. Yeah, so this one is a group of environmental activists They decide to invade and vandalize a furniture store for the climate, everybody. As fresh as today's headlines. Protest quickly turns into a massacre when they find themselves trapped within a hunting-obsessed night guard. So if you want to see the Tesla protesters get their comeuppance only in a furniture store, there you go. Indie Phantom. But Minecraft has Jack Black. Yes. And he's as relevant as he is thin. Yeah, it looks so bad. The Kraken. World of Warcraft had a movie, but the game has a pretty cool story. Unfortunately, the movie was garbage. Could have been really good. The Dungeons and Dragons movie wasn't the worst thing. Indie Phantom. Woke up? No, wake up. Could be funny. Freaky Tales kind of looks interesting, but I don't know. I think it's an anthology movie. I don't know. The obsession with the 80s now is starting to annoy me. It's like the last era where anybody recognizes the fashion and the trends. The 90s, though, it's there. The 2000s is where it starts to just get blurry. Mogwai, If the Stars Had Sound. I don't know what that is. April 11th, Warfare, The Amateur. That one looks decent. Drop. That could be good. That has an interesting premise. So a woman goes out on a Tinder date, and then some crazy guy takes over her phone, basically, and then breaks into her house and takes her babysitter and son hostage and tells her if she doesn't kill her date, he'll kill her son. So she has to either kill her date or save her son. And, of course, she tries to save her son. Indie Phantom. Need to support Pedro Pascal. Guy doesn't get enough exposure. I know. Probably living with a roommate somewhere and having a rough time. I mean, mustache cream isn't going to pay for itself. The King of Kings, The Ballad of Wallace Island, Sacramento. That's billed as a comedy. I don't know. It's Michael Cera, kind of back to what he normally does. Finally, but a little too late. John and Yoko documentary. I don't even know what this is. Looks like another anime thing. Neil Young has a thing. Who cares? So 3 weeks from now, Sinners comes out. That could be good. I haven't decided if that's good. I think it's a zombie movie, but it's kind of hard to tell. It might be vampires, but it's like a speakeasy in the South run by Michael B. Jordan and his twin brother, and he plays both parts. And then they get trapped in their speakeasy in the middle of the woods and then have to fight it out with the zombies or vampires. I'm not sure I think zombies. I think. So that could be good, but it's Coogler's directing. I don't know. Maybe he finally found a movie he could direct, but not a fan. Wait, says Indie Phantom. Didn't see Locked on that list. That must have bombed hard. The car horror flick with Hopkins was just out last week. Oh, yeah. What happened to that? Let's see. Let's see. Holy crap. Is it gone? Jesus. It did a little business in Australia and Portugal, but it appears to be done. Jesus. Was it out 2 weeks? It came out, it came out last week. Yeah, I didn't see it on the list. It might still be in theaters, but it made so little that it didn't pop up on the list, maybe. That's right. I forgot about that movie. Or maybe they just pushed it out of the theaters for one of these new releases already because it did so poorly. It wasn't a bad premise, but it's all in the execution of something like that. Yeah. Well, that's no bueno. Indie Phantom, that was a car wreck. Literally. Yeah, so Sinners, that might do well. The Wedding Banquet, Sneaks, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's animation. April 25th, The Accountant 2. The first one, pretty big, pretty decent movie. I think there might be a bit of a fan base for this one. Until Dawn, I don't think that's going to do well. I think they expect it to do well because I think it's based on a video game, if it's the one I'm thinking of. The Shrouds on Swift's Horses, The Legend of Ochi. That does not look good at all. I don't know what. It's like a family film. Neighborhood Watch, another Jack Quaid movie. It's another guy who needs your help. Cheech and Chong's last movie. That's a documentary. You know, it's just going to do about as well as a documentary. Four Letters of Love, Skill House. Yeah, April doesn't look. I mean, May you got Thunderbolts, but that's a dumpster fire waiting to happen. Thunderbolts, The Surfer, which is Nick Cage. Elektra, not the Elektra we're thinking of. The Last Battleship, which is horror sci-fi. Words of War. Swamp Dog gets his pool painted. What the heck? It's documentary, comedy, and music? Swamp Dog gets his pool painted. Cult musician Swamp Dog and housemates Moog Star and Guitar Shorty have turned their suburban LA home into an artistic haven. They journey through the turbulent music business, forming a special friendship transcending eras. Okay, well, it sounds different at least, I'll give you that. All right, let's see what's happening in the trades. Over in Variety, sad Richard Chamberlain dies. So he was, a lot of people liked him. Very sad. He was 90 though, so he had a pretty good run. So there's that. Morgan Whalen stirs speculation with abrupt SNL walk-off and get me to God's country's social post. I don't know. He's a country star. I don't know anything relevant that's happened on SNL in recent years, but whatever. So more on Jason's statement and A Working Man. More on SNL. Don't care. More on SNL. 1, 2, 3 different SNL articles. Once again, Variety. Do you own SNL? Is Lorne Michaels the editor-in-chief of Variety? Like, it's ridiculous. Also, another show they won't stop talking about is White Lotus. Sounds awful. The more I learn about it, the less I want to watch it. Here's an article on Ubisoft. New Ubisoft subsidiary for Assassin's Creed underscores the need for IP preservation in transmedia era. Yeah, now they're going to preserve it because once Tencent Media owns it, they're going to want to make money. Helen Mirren doesn't want to see a female James Bond. The character is drenched and born out of profound sexism. Thanks for adding your 2 cents. Woman who will never play James Bond. But whatever. Richard Norton, Mad Max series actor and Hollywood stunt coordinator, dies at 75. A lot of people dropping dead in Hollywood. Niza 2 propels 2025 global box office estimate upwards to 34 million. Settle down. I mean, the movie did well, apparently, in China. If the Chinese communists are to be believed for their box office receipts, sure. Maybe this is all an elaborate ruse to get us to go watch it when it's inevitably released here. I don't know. Indie Phantom. First season of White Lotus has sexy Sydney Sweeney, Caught a couple of episodes on a plane. It was decent. Oh, okay. Well, it does have Sydney. Jack Black is having night terrors ahead of hosting Saturday Night Live for the first time in 20 years. I was on that show before some cast members were born. Ha 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 ha. Don't care. Don't care. People who don't remember your appearance don't watch TV anymore, Jack. All right. Moving on to Phantom Pulse. Review of Working Man. And let's see what's in the headlines here. 9 science fiction novels from the 1950s that are a must-read. All right. We'll take a quick look at that and just rattle them down. See if I know any of these. A Martian Chronicles. Sure, that's a classic. I've read that. Long time ago. That was a school thing. Golden Age Masterworks. E. Doc Smith's Gray Lensman. I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it. Or haven't read it. I think it was animated, right? Almost sure. Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged. Definitely read that. Alfred Bester's The Demolished Man. Did not read that. The Long Tomorrow. No, I don't think I read that. Lee Brackett. Childhood's End, Arthur C. Clarke. I think I read this. Or I read part of it at least. God, that was a long time ago too. Starship Troopers. I believe I did read. I didn't see the movie, but I think I read the book. And that's it. That is it. So get yourself some 50s sci-fi, says Fandom Pulse. Jason Statement's A Working Man blows past Snow White. Internet goes crazy over Studio Ghibli-style AI-generated memes. So yeah, that was this week's thing. After telling half the country go watch something else last year, The Boys showrunner Eric Kripke gives updates on Season 5 Gen V and Vought Rising spinoffs. Oh, I so don't care. Ardent. LOL, the Starship Troopers movie is great, especially if you watch it right after reading the book. Yeah, it's I'm not against watching it. I just never got around to it. I missed it when it came out, and everybody talks about it, and I feel like I've seen it. It's one of those movies I've seen so many clips, and I've heard so many people talk about every scene, and it's like if I watch it, I'll go, oh yeah, I remember that. I didn't see this movie, but I remember everything. Ardent, did anyone even watch Gen V? I don't know. Talk about it shooting yourself in the foot. Why couldn't this guy keep his mouth shut? I mean, did he not watch his own show? Oh, I'm making a show. It's so outrageous. Obviously, we all hate Trump, right? Book review. I don't know. Snow White expected to drop when it did. Bay and Books sci-fi author John V. Stry talks about being a mega bestseller without getting recognition. Well, that's sad. Think he would be able to afford something better than a t-shirt. It's very sad. Over at Hollywood Reporter, David Zaslav meeting with potential Mike DeLuca Pan Abdi replacements. Here's a thought. Why not just put people in charge who will make good movies and fire all your woke-tarded employees? Just a thought. I could turn your comic book division around in about 3 years. Ardent, LOL, like people thinking they've read 1984 because of the zeitgeist. Indie Phantom, Starship Troopers has some of the best CG, funny script that holds up. It is your homework, Tony. Also, the good years of Denise Richards. I know. Ardent at Indie Phantom. Dizzy's best girl. Let's see. Mitch Hedberg, documentary director on the 20th anniversary of the comedian's death. We still need Mitch more than ever. I mean, I liked him, but I mean, he's gone, so it's sad. Now you're going to exploit him. Like digging up his corpse and dancing it around. Indie Phantom. Clownfish saying Zaslav gutting more stuff and looking to sell if Superman is a dog. I heard that. I think I saw that video. Ardent. Great Michael Ironside, too. Oh, I love Michael Ironside. He's funny. Yeah, getting back to Zaslav, though. I mean, what is he going to sell? He's going to sell DC? Who's he going to sell it to? The rumor is Disney's trying to sell Star Wars. So Zaslav's going to sell, I guess, DC and Superman. Who's going to buy it? Hey, you want to buy this property? Half of them are going to be in the public domain in about 10 minutes, and one of them already is. Who's going to buy it? So Paramount is being bought by Skydance. I'll tell you who will buy them. Maybe Amazon for the right price. Maybe. But Amazon doesn't want to get in the comic book business, as near as I could tell. Nobody does, because there's not enough money in it for them. Amazon's too big. They would just want the IPs for the movies. Although the ironic thing is, if Amazon did get those IPs, they could retool their Amazon book printing machines and maybe have some of them that could print comics, and they could print them super cheap, and then maybe they could save the comic book industry if they retooled the industry a little bit, and instead of getting your comics from a store, you'd maybe get them from Amazon. That could be interesting. Maybe you just go into a thing every week, click the newest issues you wanted, Amazon would print them on demand, ship them to your house, just like everything else they ship at Amazon. That could work, but they'd have to make the comics cheaper. If they could drive the price point back to where it was, or down to like $1 or $2, could make it work. Ardent, great Michael Ironside, 2. Indie Phantom, great supporting cast and troopers, Clancy Brown and Jake Busey's teeth. Jake Busey is in Rust, by the way, which is coming out. I forget when. That's something else we have to look forward to. I'm not sure when it's coming out, though. I think May. I don't know who's going to see that movie, but it's coming. What else? More of the same. Jason Momoa's in the Minecraft movie. I think people kind of mildly forgot. Indie Phantom, Amazon shipping Russian bride soon. As long as they're hot, it'll make money. Another SNL article, thanks. Justine Bateman wants to give a book of matches to the tech companies so they can burn down Hollywood. Kind of got to applaud the sentiment, but I'm not so sure. I mean, she's a filmmaker, or at least wants to be. I don't know how many films she's made on her own yet, but she is definitely trying to woo the last movie heads, like, I'm going to be cool director, screw Hollywood, that sort of crowd. So I'm kind of down. Ardent, LOL, Jake Busey's teeth should have won an award for best supporting. Indie Phantom, has Momoa used up his cool points yet? Somehow, no. I think he's going to be like Carmen Electra. He's going to still look kind of hot for a long time, and that's going to carry him until finally people are sick of him and realize, wait a minute, you have no acting talent at all. He's going to be as Lobo. That might save his whole career. But I'll say this for him. He at least seems to have fun in the movies he's in, the clips I've seen. Doesn't appear to care. You know, it's just kind of like, oh, I'm in a movie. Look at this. All the same stuff. All the same stuff. Yep, it's all the same stuff. All right, moving on to Bounding into Comics. Fans react to first look at Final Destination Bloodlines and late actor Tony Todd, R.I.P., in final acting role. That's a shame. Nice guy. Nice guy. Interviewed him back in the Crow days. He was very upset about Brandon Lee, of course. It had happened that year, I think, or maybe the previous year. But he was a really nice guy. Michael Caine explains his approach to Alfred in The Dark Knight trilogy and new memoir. Alfred needed to be very tough indeed. Very tough. I had to be very tough indeed and bring my Michael Caine into Alfred's role. That was my Michael Caine. Thank you. Thank you. The only reason I could do Michael Caine is me and a friend used to do a bit called the Michael Caine Brothers. And we wanted to do a comedy sketch where we were both Michael Caine. And people would ask, who are you two? You sound familiar. And we'd be like, we're the Michael Caine Brothers. And we would solve mysteries together, but we would also explain people how to act, because Michael Caine at the time was doing a lot of acting videos. Ardent, Michael Caine. Michael Cocaine. He's a funny guy. Deadline. Inside the weird world of AI-fueled fake movie trailers and how studios secretly are cashing in. Okay. Someone told me today there's a fake movie. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Shoot over here to YouTube. It's a fake AI trailer. It's like AI Karen Unleashed. This might be it. Yeah, AI or Die. So this apparently, I won't play the sound, but apparently it has sound, dialogue, and everything. So this is apparently all AI generated using software. It looks pretty good, just looking at the visuals. So I gotta say, it looks pretty good. So, and this is all made with software that anybody could get, apparently. So sign me up. If you can make something look halfway decent and put in the dialogue and music and whatnot, I'll be typing away trying to make a Pineys short for starters. So it's called Karen Unleashed, and the channel's called AI or Die. And so people have been talking about this. I think I'll just subscribe to make sure I don't miss this. I wanted to watch it. I'll look at this later. So check that out. Where the hell was I now? All right, Deadline. So, Hollywood's trying to make some money on it. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of actors, writers, and talent. Ardent, AI trailers can be fun. There's a couple of channels making retro trailers. I like those for the newer movies. 50 Styles X-Men movie trailer is fun. Yeah, I've seen a few of them. They're cool. They're cool. I like the look of them. They don't have any dialogue or anything yet, but I think that's going to change. A Star is Born in Flophouse America, captivating Mikkel navigates poverty and his parents' drinking in CPH Doc's world premiere. Well, he's in a documentary. That doesn't sound like he's acting, but okay. Trump rants about his record approval ratings. They're not joking about a third term. Oh, give it up, Deadline. Just give it up. I don't believe anything you say. Just stop. NYPD Blues Kim Delaney arrested on suspicion of felony assault and domestic disturbance. Wow. Well, that's interesting. That's the first I heard of that. All right, let's move on to Bleeding Fool. Ryan Coogler discusses Denzel Washington's involvement in Black Panther 3. I mean, I guess he'll probably be the villain. Be kind of cool if he becomes Black Panther, though. I mean, he's too old for it, but it'd be kind of cool. Maybe, like, you know, the suit does all the stunt work, and he takes the magic, whatever it is, makes him Black Panther. I don't know. They can't do Black Panther right now. It's just... First movie's good. There was only about one movie in that character, though, unfortunately. They didn't have a huge bench of characters. So, I think they probably should have stopped at one. But I understand. I mean, the movie made $1 billion, so. From Passion to Resurrection, Mel Gibson's next epic to start filming in August. Yeah. So, I like Mel's movies. I haven't seen The Passion, but I'd say it. Ardent, LOL, as part of his secret Project 2025 agenda, Trump will invade Canada, declare himself Emperor of America, and reveal that he is in the Illuminati. Deadline, probably. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just so tiresome to hear them even talk about Trump. Have you said one true thing about the guy? Will you give him credit for anything he's done? Will you give him credit for anything at all? It's always got to be spin, even when something goes right. It's just exhausting and stupid, and I refuse to waste a single moment of my life reading your nonsense and propaganda. Ardent, I've never seen The Passion either. Bits of the Apocalypto I saw were good. Apocalypto's very good. Oh man, is that a good movie. That's a really good movie. It's a movie that, first off, it's completely in, what is it, Aztec? They're Aztecs, I think. It's completely in their language, which is mind-blowing. So it's all subtitled. And it's a very simple premise, And it's really, the research is there. Everything's there. Oh, you got to see that. It's really good. It's really good. Oh, this was this week. Only one comic book shop left standing in Tallahassee, Florida, everybody. So there it is, Fallout Comics. When this closes, where will you get your preachy Marvel comics about feminism now? How will you see Batman's unit without a comic book store, Tallahassee? Don't you want comics? So, yeah, just the state of the industry. We had a big store close up in South Jersey. Sadly, Level Up Entertainment, which had 2 stores here, and then went down to 1, and I thought they were doing okay, and the next thing you know, they were just closed. It sucks. I really like those guys. They were very good to me. I miss them. I made crazy bank at their free comic book day in the mall. I don't know how it happened, but it sucks. I hope maybe they'll reopen. I don't know, but the mall that they were in was literally falling apart. I hear, or saw. The Wrap. More on the working man. The Atlantic editor is not intimidated by Trump admin's tactic over signal text scandal. Oh, okay. You know, for the 10 people who still read the Atlantic and read magazines in general, I'm sure that's big news. Kara Swisher says Elon Musk is playing pretend beta for Trump. Maybe he's just trying to help the president of the United States so we don't all go broke when the economy collapses. Maybe that, Kara Swisher. Donald Trump insists he's not joking about seeking a third term in office. Deadline, The Wrap, the 2 places you go to for politics. Again, I don't believe you. Trump probably made a joke, and you guys took his joke literally. He's not going to run for a third term. Nobody wants him for a third term. There's a reason he picked J.D. Vance as his VP. He's Augustus Caesar. If Trump is Caesar, J.D. is Augustus. He's handpicked his successor, essentially. He's a guy who seems to be in line with all his policies and will continue them, and he's young enough to do so. So, he's also a Marine, so good luck making the same stupid fake stories about Trump against J.D. Vance. Oh, here's another thing about the White Horse Correspondents' Dinner. They ditched the headliner Amber Ruffin to ensure focus is not on the politics of division. Well, she is an anti-Trump comedian, apparently. So, in other words, not funny. So, I don't know. I don't know who goes to this thing anymore. I'm glad Trump has just said forget it and doesn't go, because it always amazed me to see all these media figures and the political figures. When I first discovered the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I was like, they're all sitting together. Isn't the media supposed to be questioning the president and be like on the opposite side of the fence and question authority? They're all having a party. It's weird. It doesn't seem appropriate. I'm glad Trump's out. I hope the whole thing is completely just disbanded and goes away. All right, Russo's take heat for Amazon's exec's exit. Feige, Avengers rumor true? I don't know. Maybe. But I don't know about this whole thing. But Robert Downey Jr. is a genius actor. I mean, maybe he'll make it work. Maybe they'll keep his face covered the entire movie so you literally won't see him. So you won't be able to compare him to Iron Man. That would be interesting if you never see his face, like in Doctor Doom. Ardent, White House press dinner. As per Carlin, it's a big club and we ain't in it. Exactly. Although Larry Fishburne went the one time when Stephen Colbert was hosting during the George Bush days, and since Colbert is very much a liberal, he just obliterated Bush on the podium. And they cut to the audience, and it was so bad, the audience is a little horrified. They don't know how to react. But as the pan goes over the crowd, it gets to Larry Fishburne, and Fishburne is laughing his ass off, and it's one of the funniest shots. So you just imagine this whole room of people like, oh, I don't know if I should laugh at this. And Larry Fisher going, ah, 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 ah. Oh, it was great. He didn't care. But yeah, I would like to see him, I would have liked to have seen an actor be Doctor Doom and then have Tony Stark come back somehow. He could play Tony Stark forever. I mean, he really could. Just have the Iron Man suit do all the work. Oh, this is some awful news. If you still care about comics. Mary Jane is Marvel's new Venom. Fans aren't happy. Yeah, I wonder why. The dumbest thing ever. Let's see. Do they have the shot of the page? No. Oh, isn't this Mary Jane's husband that cucked Peter Parker or something? Oh, yeah. Ardent, I'm kind of hopeful that the whole Dr. Downey Jr. thing is a bait and switch, and he'll just be back as Iron Man, alternate universe variant, and only shows up for 5 minutes, a la Red Hulk. I don't think so. I think it's Robert Downey Jr. said to him, I don't want to come back as Iron Man. And then the studio went back and pitched, okay, what if you came back as another character? And you can pick any character you want. And they sent him a bunch of characters they haven't done yet. And he picked Doctor Doom because it's like the biggest one. I think he sees it as a actor's like challenge. You know, he wants to challenge your perspective and subvert your expectations, everyone. Ardent, oh look, Marvel's burning down another character. LOL, maybe RDJ is going to play Kang? That could work. I mean, that would make sense, right? Because Kang could, they're all alternate versions of themselves. That would be pretty funny, but I don't think that's the case. See, they could have just bring back Kang and use another actor. I mean, it would make sense. But we'll see. But this Mary Jane Watson stuff, I mean, God, how much more can Marvel do to destroy their brand? And like Disney just stands by the sidelines and lets this happen. Like, I get that Disney wants the brand to be super woke, but this kind of stuff, holy crap, they just don't care about the comics. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. I tried to get the Hollywood guys to understand comics, and they just refuse to do it, or they just don't care. It's too little money. It's not worth their time. And this is the end result. They absolutely don't care. Meanwhile, they burn down the entire fan base, and they continue to burn down whatever's left. And it's sad. It's really sad. I asked today at the comic book show, and I was sitting around a group of creators, and I said, does anybody have any comics, new comics that anyone's talking about? And one of the creators said they're talking about Conan from Titan Comics, and that's a hot comic. And so we were looking it up and talking about it. Apparently, Titan Comics relaunched Conan, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But that's not like mainstream. That's not like Marvel or DC mainstream comics. That's not Image. It's none of the mainstream stuff. What else did they mention? They did mention one mainstream storyline. I forget what it was. And I think it was from a little while ago. But this kind of S is just brutally bad. I mean, this is just dumb. Indie Phantom. That whole empty chairs reveal was funny. At least no signs of Mark Ruffalo. Bunch of ancient X-Men don't care. Yeah, I mean, and if you don't care, like, if the older fans don't care about the older actors, how are the new fans going to care? How are you going to get new people into the seats? I would to read New Good Conan. I think you meant I want to read New Good Conan. I hear the Titan comics are good. I mean, these were other creators. I haven't read it, but the art looked fine. Looked okay. No one's talking about it, so I assume it's awesome. So, I don't know. But the Mary Jane Watson thing, God. I mean, it's bad enough. Again, Spider-Man just never should have gotten married. They should have kept it the way it was. They had to keep the paradigm. Never mess with the character paradigm. But these guys don't seem to care. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's just my opinion. I don't understand this. headline. I read this earlier this week. Trump making Star Trek great again? Woke Paramount makes a U-turn. I don't see how this is Trump's deal, but it says a new rumor lands online that President Trump and his admin could be responsible for making Star Trek great again, and that Paramount is pivoting away from its DEI policies. It's no secret that recent shows from Paramount, particularly Discovery, have focused more on diverse characters, representation, and lecturing audience. Say what you want about Star Trek, blah, 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 blah. The new rumor is that Paramount's making a big U-turn regards to Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Following already canceling and seemingly erasing Discovery from canon, it said that Paramount is reshooting Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 because they deem it too woke, and that as a result, the new season is delayed. I'll believe it when I see it. And even if they manage to do that, I don't think it's going to save the franchise. What they need is to cancel this and come back with a super based franchise, like one that's legit, and then ignore everything that went before, you know, except for the OG stuff and some of the other good stuff. Indie Phantom, Trump will cameo as the Universal President. That would be funny. Yeah, take that, Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams as President of Earth. God. But yeah, I mean, these people just take IPs and they just wreck them. They just wreck them all day long. Oh, we got to do a new spin. Oh, we got to do my version of Star Trek. My version. Me. Why can't you do the version we all like and then do new stories? Why? Why can't you do that? Why? People would like it. People would say, oh, here's a group of talented people who continued Star Trek in its grand tradition. Ardent, LOL, I was just thinking that. Eat it, Abrams. Possibly a bad choice of words. Just do the OG stuff. Just do it. Just recast everybody and do OG Star Trek. Or pick up the baton from where they left off and then do it. You know, I would even dump Next Generation, quite frankly. Although I did like some of it, and I like DS9. The rest of it, I could throw it in the trash. At this point, I don't know if it's worth saving. The one captain they should have brought back would have been Cisco. Could have done a Cisco movie. Where's the Cisco movie and Deep Space Nine movie? Would have liked to have seen that, but... Alright, moving on to That Park Place. More on Snow White. Looney Tunes scrubbed from Max streaming service while movies are ignored. Yeah, it looks like the rumor is Warner Brothers wants to sell Looney Tunes. I'm not sure where they are in the public domain. I'd like to see those guys go in the public domain. That'd be fun. I'll start doing Looney Tunes if that goes in the public domain. I love Looney Tunes. But, yeah, I mean, how hard is it to do Looney Tunes? Again, you need funny people doing it. Here it is. Ubisoft employees fear layoffs after Tencent deal and new subsidiary formation. Ardent, stop going backwards. It failed with Enterprise. It's so time to move into the future. Yeah. The end of DS9 kind of ruled out a Cisco movie. Would have been nice if they had gone forward with Riker, methinks. Well, that's the new one. They're going forward with a Riker show, I think. I think that's going to be Academy, but I'm not sure. But again, they're just mining their own history. But Ubisoft employees rattled over potential mass layoffs. Ubisoft announced it's forming a new gaming subsidiary in partnership with the Chinese tech giant Tencent. The new entity will house the company's most valuable franchises, including Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. So the Chinese own Rainbow Six, you know, the Tom Clancy-based video game. While the press release spins this as the start of a bold new chapter, internal reactions suggest that the only thing bold about this move is the level of uncertainty it has created at Ubisoft's remaining workforce. Indie Phantom, Tony, you can pitch a Yosemite Sam or Wile E. Coyote slasher. Never. I'd do a comedy. I'd do it as a straight up comedy. Indie Phantom, Ubi is soft indeed. The first characters that should come out of Looney Tunes will probably be Bugs and Daffy. Yosemite Sam doesn't come until later. And Wile E. Coyote probably would be third whenever the first Roadrunner cartoon was. But Bugs and Daffy, I think, are first. And Porky. Porky would be third. Then after that, maybe Wile E. Coyote and Yosemite Sam. Ardent, LOL, a True Grit style Yosemite Sam Western revenge flick would be cool. Only if he talks like Yosemite Sam through the entire movie. Come here, you varmint! I'm gonna kill you! And only if he takes his guns and he shoots them on either side through his holsters and lifts himself into the air. That'd be great. Him and his giant mustache strangle people. Alright, and Breitbart. CBS poll, Trump maintains 50% approval. This is CBS. They hate him at CBS. There's no way that's a real poll, in my view. Trump is mad at Putin. All right, let's go to entertainment. I've been talking about this guy all week. Fingerprint singer, songwriter John Kahn. I grew up in godless of the godless LA. Okay, you're religious now. All right, be religious. I don't care. It's fine to be religious. I don't care. More on Snow White. More on Snow White. Oh, this was big this week. Indie Phantom. How did they not do Roger Rabbit sequel? There was even source material, basically. I don't know. When did Hoskins die? Let's see. Roger Rabbit came out in 1988. And Hoskins died when? 2014. So he was around long after that. I mean, they could have had plenty of time. I don't know. Ardent, Putin's limo got blowed up. 08? I don't know, man. Maybe somebody's trying to jumpstart World War III. That would be a big no bueno. Goodbye, everybody. I mean, that would be goodbye. Whether they kill Putin or Putin thinks they were trying to kill him, that could be very bad. Now, fortunately, Putin was in the KGB. And maybe people were trying to kill him all the time. Maybe that's just a Saturday for him. My other limo, it blew up. This is not good. This is going to delay me getting into the house to watch my shows. That was my terrible Russian accent. I'm much better with Michael Caine. Indie Phantom. Hoskins died the day of the Super Mario Brothers release. Oh, okay. Indie Phantom. Remember Zemeckis now said there was a great Roger Rabbit 2 script, The studio couldn't deal with Jessica Rabbit angle. Huh. That's a shame. Well, I guess they can't do it now. Indie Phantom, he revealed that in an interview recently. I think I vaguely remember now that you say it. Yeah, it would have been nice. I would have seen it. It was a fun movie. Ardent, do Russian Michael Caine. One of my limos, it blew up. Oh no! I've got to get into the house, or the house with the ice cream cones on the top. The Michael Caine brothers in are Putin. Alex Ogle is here. Wow, you're late, Alex. Oh no, you're not. It's 9:30. Alex Ogle, Evening Attack Helicopters, movie pitch. 2001 Space Odyssey. Sydney Sweeney, in a space bikini, ventures on a spaceship Discovery to Saturn to find the destination of a powerful radio beam sent from the moon. The Discovery is now a spaceship that is entirely black because of race swapping, and HAL 9000 is voiced by Viola Davis with a thick African accent because, of course, HAL constantly insists that Black Lives Matter and tries to kill the crew, but insists it's fiery but mostly peaceful. Oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think we can greenlight that one right now. Let's get a script. Ardent, they were only supposed to blow the bloody doors. They were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. Oh my. But this was an interesting headline from John Nolte this week. Ardent, LOL, Alex. Instead of improving movies, Variety wants to allow pot and texting in theaters. Boy, won't that make it a great experience. Won't you want to go to the movies then? Ooh, I could stink like skunk weed, and I could listen to people go tappity, 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 tap through the whole movie. And not only that, they're bright screens illuminating their faces to further distract me. Oh, and the smoke. Sounds great. Sounds great. Wow. God, that sounds so awful, doesn't it? Movies are terrible now. Now, you're going to improve them by allowing everybody to get stoned as balls in the theater. Nobody's even going to be watching the damn movie and texting. Ardent, oh yeah, let's take the kids to that. Oh yeah, yeah, that. It's like the only thing that's selling halfway decently are kids' movies, and you're going to add this? Hey, let's add free an open bar as well. It comes with your movie ticket. Yeah. Oh, wait, you can't bring your kids to that. Oh, sorry. But this is the showing of Dogman. Yeah, it's only for adults. I'm sorry. Unbelievable. Hate to tell you, there's theaters in New Jersey that reek. There's buildings in New Jersey that reek because people just smoke their pot wherever. And in fact, today I was at the show and somebody was in the room was taking a quick hit. I could smell it. It reeks. And this was in the Elks Lodge, and I don't think they were too happy about that. It stopped almost immediately, so I think somebody told them. But Alex, Critical Drinker, was having a watch party for Firefly earlier. He mentioned how modern audiences are so terminally online that movies and TV shows can't guarantee their audience is even watching. Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you get bored, I mean, it's like watching a movie at home, right? Or a TV show. If you get bored, you might just pick up your phone and check some stuff and then get totally distracted. You know? And then be like, look back up to the movie and be like, oh, shit, what happened? Pardon my French. Ardent, at Alex, would have loved to have been in that chat. It's like you can't. What you want to do is have fewer distractions. You want to make the movie experience good. The first thing that has to happen is you have to address the insane pricing of the food and now the tickets. So you have to address that. I think the easiest way to address that would be for the studios to work with the movie theaters in some capacity and either just lower their prices or come up with some way that you would have movies play in the same theaters and really cut the prices on, cut the matinees down to $5, at least for a while, at least for some movies. Get people back in the theaters. You can get people back in the theaters by cutting the price. Another thing you could do, and you could even make it, Alex, sorry, what, Tony? I was doom scrolling. Yeah, exactly. Another way you could get them back in the theaters is you could offer, and you'd have to work with the theaters because this is where they make their money, you could offer free popcorn. Now, maybe the theaters could do that. One of the studios could actually buy a theater chain and do this. I'm not sure if that's legal. I guess it would be. I don't see any reason why it would be illegal for a movie company to buy. I mean, a movie company owns Rotten Tomatoes, so what's the difference if they own a movie theater too? So you buy a movie theater chain, and now it's just one division renting the movies to another division. So it opens up all kinds of doors. Now you can decide to open up your library to those same theaters, maybe give the theater owners some flexibility in their programming. So you could have a rotating series of movies out of your, let's say, the Warner Brothers library, if it was Warner Brothers, and you don't know what's playing. You got to keep checking the guide every week. Oh my God, they showed Casablanca and the Terminator yesterday. Like, what? And then people start checking. Oh man, they're showing all kinds of crazy movies. And they'd be old, but if it's a matinee for $5 and it's a movie they like, they'll go see it. And you just get people involved in the movie theaters and the experience becomes good again. And maybe you give them free popcorn with certain movies. Maybe you just lower the prices in general, or you offer better popcorn or better snacks that are worth the ridiculous prices we pay. Like Alex Ogle, make the popcorn taste less like sick. Yeah, that would be a good start. How about just saying, okay, we're not going to raise the price, but we're going to make it really good popcorn now. How about offering popcorn? I'd like some popcorn with nothing on it, quite frankly, because I don't like to eat butter, a lot of butter. That's why I generally don't eat popcorn. The kind of popcorn I like that cheddar cheese popcorn. I like that. That tastes healthy to me. It's not heavy. It's got a little taste to it. Ardent subscription model to theaters. They've already started to do that a little bit. AMC has some sort of subscription deal, but it's not very appealing to me, because to me, like, a subscription model would be you pay a price that's very reasonable and you can see all the movies, right? So let's say, these days the movies around here hover between probably $14 and $20 a ticket. That's a lot of money. You make it so, I don't know, if you have a subscription, maybe all the matinees are free, because those take place in the day when nobody comes to the movies. That's why it's cheaper to go into the matinee. And then your regular movies are free on certain nights, like Mondays and Tuesdays. But like for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you have to pay something. Like, you can't clog up the theater with freebies on the weekend, but something like that. Indie Phantom, now I want popcorn, and yes, hold the fake butter. I had a theater. I have a local theater chain here. It's called the Ritz. They're based out of Philadelphia. They built my local theater originally, and when they first opened, they made it like the Ritz. Now the Ritz has like that high-end soda. I forget what it's called. It has the checkerboard logo and like all the crazy flavors, and they come in tiny little bottles. Like, I don't drink a lot of soda, so that was perfect for me if I just wanted a little bit of soda, and it's like really good. And then they had Toblerones, and they had all this high-end candy, and it was just as much as the regular theater, but it was high-end candy, so I didn't mind paying the theater price for a Toblerone, because it was a lot of chocolate, and it was good chocolate, as opposed to paying like through the nose for a candy bar that I could go get at CVS for a third of the price, even now. And so the idea was, they opened this massive complex near my house, and they also had a coffee bar, they had a lounge area, and they had really good popcorn. Everything was good at first. And they showed art house movies at first. Unfortunately, they had like 20 screens to fill, and it didn't work out. Like, not enough people were coming to the new Ritz in South Jersey. It just wasn't enough of the audience. So they rotated in the mainstream movies, and that helped, but it couldn't save them, and eventually they ended up selling the thing, and now it's been through several different hands, and I think now it's an AMC. I think. But, you know, they wouldn't have survived the pandemic. I don't know how the one in Philly survived. I mean, that's closer to the action, I guess. Arden, $20 for a month for a movie a week, off nights with perks. Yeah, something like that. They have something similar, but it's not that great. Alex Ogle, offer pizza slices with pineapple toppings. You shut your mouth. Shut your filthy pineapple mouth. Alex Ogle, at Ardent, with perks, I may have a different idea what perks means. Maybe a blend of cinema and massage parlor. Now, that would get people through the door, but only certain people. Gross people, mostly. And I wouldn't want to clean up the theater after that. So, you think the floor is sticky now. Ardent, LOL, Empire Strikes Back with a happy ending just seems wrong, Alex. Yeah, that's a bit much. That is a bit much. You'd be showing a lot of Caligula, I think. Yeah, nobody seems to stay through the whole movie anymore. But they keep wanting to see it. And it smells terrible in the theater. Oh, it just smells bad. But all the same guys keep coming here, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, like, pot and texting. I can't think of two worse things. Like you don't want people smoking inside. You don't want them smoking anything. It doesn't matter that it's pot. Pot's not, like, healthy. It's not as bad as cigarette smoke and being trapped with the cigarette smoke like we were back in the 70s in some cases. But, yeah, I don't want to reek of pot. That would be the worst one, I think, for most people. You couldn't bring your kids, and you would reek of pot. The texting, that's just a non-starter, too. People are idiots. Why do you want to text? Why did you even come? Like, if you're going to text during the movie, you're going to go home and stream the movie. Go home and stream the movie and text all you want. I don't care. And then you can wind back the movie if you miss it or whatever. I mean, it's just not, it's all bad. It's all bad suggestions. No bueno, variety. Indie Phantom, couple of local art houses offer superior prices and popcorn, yet only a couple of times a year are they showing something. I want to see that isn't already free online. Yeah, that's another problem too. So, if you're all experienced and you don't have any new movies, you can't get access to them, then it's a very niche thing, right? I mean, I like the old movie experience, but I don't always have time to go, and when I'm tight for cash, which seems to be always, I'm just going to stream stuff because I'm lazy, and that's what people are going to do. So you need a total rethinking of the movie theater, and you need things that will bring them in. So you need to be able to show something that maybe the studios make that aren't available online ever. So maybe you go back to doing shorts, animated shorts at the head of the theater, and you never put them online. Now they'll end up online at some point, but for a while at least, it'll be a way to go to the movies. So that's where Looney Tunes could come in again. You could start making actual Looney Tunes again, or Woody Woodpecker, or whatever. You can make some new cartoons, Animaniacs. But Ardent, finding a way to engage the youngsters is the challenge. Yeah, I mean, families want to go to movies. They want something to do for their kids. So, I mean, you could make it more kid-friendly. You could, and that, again, it goes back to the snacks. Like, the snacks are not healthy. So, you want to make more healthy snacks for kids. You could put a high-end snacks that parents might buy for their kids because they're healthy and there's nothing else there. And you don't want to feed them candy. Maybe you want to have some kind of kids night or kids day on the weekends. Kids only showings, stuff like that. Alex Ogle, kids smoking weed, illuminating their surroundings with their phones, and laughing with each other would be no more insufferable than Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be just like that. Yeah, and then they wouldn't care if you said something to them, because they'd be like, shut up, dude. And then they'd laugh. White Lotus Star says they would die for the LGBTQIA community. They would die for it. That's how dedicated they are to that community. Okay. Good for you, I guess. I don't really get that. Transgender drag race alum seethes at Trump admin. My passport will remain male. Don't care. And Sophia Bush declares queer values are American values at GLAAD Awards. I don't even know why they have the GLAAD Awards. You know, GLAAD started as this thing. They wanted to get more representation in movies or whatever. And now what it's turned into, I don't think is very nice. Ardent, LOL, I keep getting a pop-up ad for a company selling cams. The tagline is very poorly thought out. Improve customer stickiness. LOL, what? Oh, that's weird. Ardent, die for them? Well, don't let us... I don't know if I should say that. Look, it's just weird. It's just a weird performative virtue signal. Oh, here we go. Disney's Kermit the Frog invited as the commencement speaker at University of Maryland. Oh, since your degrees are all fake, you might as well have a fake commencement speaker too. Alex Ogle, modification to my earlier movie pitch. How 9000 is trans. Makes more sense going mad and wanting to kill all the crew that way. There's a lot of transgender stuff in these headlines. Watch rapper Doechai disgusted as rights for transgender people have been threatened. By who? By what? What are you even talking about? Arden, sorry, let my inner bastard out for a second. Apology tour, Democratic shill, Stephen Colbert. Oh, I don't know if you've seen the Al Berry cartoons yet. Look up Al Berry and watch some of his cartoons because it's very much. I think he must have worked on South Park. It's got a bit of a South Park feel to his animation and voice. But he has a Stephen Colbert in a lot of his shorts. And every time Stephen Colbert is on, the character says, I sold out years ago and I'm a coward. Like he just says it reflexively after every time he's addressed. So it's pretty funny. But Democrat shill Stephen Colbert, I sold out years ago and I'm a coward, grills Chuck Schumer weeks after his Trump spending bill cave. And I won't bother with going on a rant about Stephen Colbert again. Indie Phantom, Kermit is fake? Oh, geez. I forgot you guys didn't know that. No, he's not fake. I was just making a joke. Alex, Kermit isn't fake, but is ripe for a race gender swap. We need a trans woman toad. Or a trans pig. He would be trans pig.
Hi, Kermit the Frog here, and I've always wondered what my life would be like if I lived my true self as a pig. Yay!
I'm doing a lot of voices today. They're not bad. They're not bad. And I rediscovered my Christopher Walken just by going, ooh-ow. So it's only certain words I can say. Ooh-ow. Ooh-ow. Oh, I already lost it. But it's a good day for voices. Will Smith addresses slapping Chris Rock on new album. My S still hot even though I won't get nominated. Alex Ogle, best Kermit impression in a long time. Thank you. Bill Maher, crazy far left NPR needs to be private. I think it just needs to be defunded at this point. I mean, they've beclowned themselves over and over again. I don't know why we're paying for this nonsense. They never were. They were always supposed to be apolitical. Being political breaks the rules. They should all be fired. The whole place should be shut down. We don't need it anymore. Like NPR and PBS in the old days, it was simple. We had, this is going way back, when I was a kid, we had 3 channels, the network TVs, the 3 networks. We had a couple of local affiliates, and then there was a PBS channel. The PBS channel had BBC stuff that we couldn't get anywhere else. Indie Phantom, smash like and imbibe. Ardent, shut up, Will. You're a cuck, and a pusillanimous one at that. A real man would have confronted Chris Rock after the show. Alex Ogle at Indie Phantom, great advice. Indie Phantom, thanks, Alex. Oh yeah, let me imbibe. Smash like and imbibe. I think that has to be our new thing on this channel. Smash like and imbibe. Maybe we'll have a drinking game next week. That could be fun. I'll drink iced tea, but you guys can drink whatever you want. Yeah, so Bill Maher, my ex-boss, is right, but I think it just needs to be completely defunded. So, yeah, and the BBC, that was the only way to get it, was on PBS. So I used to watch Monty Python and reruns of Doctor Who on PBS. NPR, they would play jazz. Sometimes they do like a radio documentary on some crazy tribe out in the middle of nowhere. Now that's all that stuff's on the internet. Like, you don't need NPR and PBS to collect that kind of stuff. And they've all become super political and super woke. And after the debacle, and it was a debacle for them, of not covering and announcing they were not covering the Hunter Biden laptop, that was a step too far in my view. That was the moment they said, we're just not going to listen to you. We're going to do whatever we want, and we're going to keep electing Democrats or whatever. So out you go. I hope they defund it all and let a private company take it over. If the liberals want it, PBS and NPR so bad, let them fund it. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Call it something else, though. Ardent works for me. I've got 2 cans of Guinness in the fridge for the last couple of weeks. I usually have 1 drink on my Tuesday show. All right. So next week we'll do some kind of drinking thing. Alex Ogle at Ardent, you're a newfie. I presume you mean crates, not cans. And finally, let's end on a high note. Woke Amazon MGM studio chief Jen Psaki steps down. So this is the woman who I think pushed the Rings of Power nonsense. And so she's gone. So hopefully all the woke goes with her. I don't think it will, but it remains to be seen. Ardent at Alex, LOL, I break that stereotype. 2 drink limit. 2 drinks. They're the size of trash cans, but there's only 2. No, I don't know. That must be a newfie thing. That must be a newfie thing. All right. Well, let's see. I think I'm out of links. I'm out of links, and I'm out of patience for the movie industry. Damn it. So, what have we learned today? Well, we learned Bob Hoskins died a lot later than I thought. I thought he died like in the early 2000s. He made it all the way to 2014. Ardent, LOL, nah, just a me thing. Rigorous discipline of the former addict. Good for you. Discipline, very important. I'm a former addict of potato chips, so I limit myself to half a bag a day, something like that. And I only eat them at lunch. Special occasions, maybe at night, but try not to eat them all day. Because I could eat potato chips morning, noon, and night. Ardent, same, I guess, '08 for Hoskins. He was in a movie with Jet Li, Unleashed, if I recall correctly. Let's say. Unleashed. Let's see. The last movie he was in was Snow White and the Huntsman, which I vaguely remember. Oh, there he is. Unleashed. 2005. Ardent, sour cream and onion chips are the bomb, but it's rare that I buy chips. I like them plain and ruffled. ShopRite brand, which now is called a bowl and basket, but it's ShopRite. ShopRite to me, it's delicious. Oh, they're so salty and good. I want to have some right now. I very well might. It's 10 o'clock at night, though. Ooh, I shouldn't. I'm going to have some food, though, after this. I think I'm going to get a little food in me and do the Piney podcast, do my other videos. What's coming up? What's coming up this week? Coming up this week, I will be at doing some senior center on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm doing a senior center in Pennsville, the Addison of Lindsay Place. I almost called them a second time. I forgot about it. Forgot to write it on my list. Arctic, get some oatmeal, high fiber and filling. Wash your sister sauce. I don't know what that means. And then next weekend starts the April drive, so I can sell more books to pay for all my food and bills. Cape Con. I'll be at Cape Con in Sea Isle City. And then I'm going to OC Con in Ocean City. So that's going to be a double whammy of a weekend. So hopefully I do well. A little light on April. I gotta try to beef it up tomorrow. I gotta make some calls. Oh, I missed Alex's message. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do. Alex Ogle. Cheese and onion are the second best crisp flavor, right behind Worcestershire sauce. Can't wait for Tony D to pronounce that. Damn you. Alex Ogle. Tony has the hump because of my pineapple shenanigans. I don't think I have a hump, but okay. Okay. You and your shenanigans. Yeah, so it should be a bit of a good week for me, I hope. And I gotta get ready for May too. See how May's filling up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 events. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 8 in April. Yeah, I gotta beef up my April. I think I got one more event I can book tomorrow. Ardent, I don't know what the hump is either. Doing the hump. Oh, sexy. Is it that? Oh no, that's doing the bump or doing the rump. Or is it doing the hump? I don't know. It's let's see. Oh no, it's doing the butt. Yeah. It was written by Marcus Miller, performed by the DC-based go-go band EU. Yeah. That was in the Purple Rain. Ardent. Anyway, tonight we learned that Disney is choking itself with reshoots and alterations. I think we learn that every week. If only Disney would learn it once, they might change course. But yeah, the movie industry. Again, my contention is there's Chinese communist infiltration, and they're behind the scenes pushing these executives into weird and woke decisions that destroy their companies, but make them look virtuous. So that would be an interesting game, I think, right? So what if your game was you're a Chinese spy and you try to get a company to destroy itself using ESG? That would be cool if you could do the role playing right, with the responses. I mean, it'd be cool in that, people would finally maybe click into, oh yeah, maybe they're doing this. Ardent, that China is fighting an economic war on our popular culture, and that no matter what, Sydney Sweeney in a bikini plays. It's true. In fact, let's end on a Sydney Sweeney. Let's see if I can find, where's Sydney Sweeney? Oh man, I can never find anything on Instagram because I hate it so much. Sydney. There she is. Let's see what's going on Instagram. Okay, looking good. Looking happy. Alex Ogle, I watched a TV series that predated I, Claudius. It was Fall of Eagles. Covers events between 1848 and 1918 in Europe, leading to World War I. Patrick Stewart plays Lenin. Oh, wow. Superbly acted. Recommended. He looks like Lenin, too. And I bet younger he looked even more like him with dark hair. Oh, wow. Here's Sydney dancing under the pool. That only took like 50 takes, I'll bet. Ardent, looking healthy, more importantly. Don't want to see your advertisements. That's a good one. Going on safari. Oh, there we go. Oh, she looks pissed. She looks pissed. She looked like I showed up for a date like 40 minutes late. What? What? I told you I was running late. I told you I was running late. We still can get a table. You're Sydney Sweeney. They're not going to turn us down. It's not going to be a big deal. Babe, it's not going to be a big deal. Okay? Now you're going to be mad at me all night? This is going to be an awkward date if you're just going to be mad at me all night. There she is. Now she's happy. Because she's making millions of dollars promoting some sort of cosmetic. Ah, she's happy. She's eating food. Alex Ogle, she's angry because there's no pineapple in her pizza, and there should be. You shut your whore mouth, Alex. Ardent, LOL, she looks like she came to my house for dinner and realized if I could cook, she's doing the dishes. Don't know what that is. Oh, there you go. Glamour shot in the elevator. All right, glamour shot. Oh, this Vanity Fair Awards or something. There you go. All right, let's end on that. Let's end on that. And with that, that concludes tonight's Hollywoke Hot Take. All right, so next week we'll do some sort of drinking game, so everybody have some sort of drink. I don't know what we'll do. I'll figure it out later. Ardent, oh, damn. So make sure you tune into that. Make sure you tune into videos for the rest of the week. And smash like and imbibe before you leave. And remember to imbibe responsibly. There. I cleared my moral thing. So nobody can blame me if you're hopelessly drunk after my stream. Ardent, good night all. Idea for drinking game. Every time Disney screws up, drink. Alcohol poisoning incoming. Yeah, that's a little too much. Had to come up with a couple of things either that I say and that I say sort of unconsciously at random and I don't realize I'm saying it. Or maybe we'll go through some movies and every time a certain actor's in it or says something. I don't know. I'll think about it. Alex Ogle, have a great week ahead, Tony. You too, Alex. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll see you in the next one.